Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is called Fragments. It was written by Steffen Schütte, and it was translated into English by Pascal Breitenfeld, who is also our game master. This is episode 11. Our recap will be given by Steve Anderson as his character, Walter von Arenberg. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Steve?
Thursday, May 20th. I'm taking this opportunity to capture my notes while I can. It's been a busy day. Yesterday evening was dark. Hans was in jail and we were at our wits' end. We were drinking schnapps and chewing over everything that has happened since we began our search for the professor, trying to see how this amazing adventure into our collective unconsciousness, which we call the dreaming, and all that has been happening around us in this village were connected. Daniel remembered that the cobbler said something, destroying what binds the dreaming to the world. We believe it may be the coins and evidence from the dreaming seems to support that idea. Daniel, Carl, and I went to see if we could visit Hans, with a secondary objective to see if we could get into the archives without being noticed. When we got to the jail to see Hans, the lights were off, and there was no window for us to wake him. With hope in our hearts for seeing Hans in our dreams, we went back to the hotel. As we were about to go into the hotel, we noticed someone pushing a wheelchair. It was Anton Kalbfleisch, a young man sitting in the wheelchair with his sister. They made quite a pair, he with his injuries and she with her, well, to be kind, ill-favored countenance. I stepped out of the shadows to chat with them, but the sister, Paula, clearly didn't want to talk with me. I didn't let that dissuade me. I conversed with Anton about how we can escape our war wounds in our dreams. As we continued to walk, we ran into the policeman that dislikes Carl so. Paula complained to the policeman that I'm harassing her brother, but the brother defends me. I allowed them to leave, and the policeman suggested I went to bed, but instead, I chatted with him about the war. I convinced him that we want to help him and the mayor before heading back to our room and our dreams. With that, we went to bed and sleep. As we became aware we were once more in the dreaming, we saw Hans. It felt good to see Hans, and it was an interesting proof of what I believe. This collective unconsciousness ignores distance in the waking world. We could meet a man from India and speak with him as if we were sharing a table at an inn. Oh, what a fantastic opportunity for learning. Hans told us that Mina said she remembered the last time this happened. Many girls became pregnant, but it was all hushed up. No one knows who the fathers are. She doesn't know what happened to the children. Some of the girls took their own lives in shame. In the dreamlands, we continued onward. After some time traveling, what could have been months, we arrive at a city that could fit in with the fabulous tales in 1001 Arabian Nights. Perhaps what we call stories or actual events in this place. We learn the city, called Ilarnak, is ruled by the new council. While most people appeared normal, we noticed there were some robed figures the city guard is afraid of. They smelled fishy, but we couldn't see their faces or any other part of their bodies to know more about them, except to notice that their footprints were lizard-like with claws. We stepped into a tavern to talk to figure out our next steps. There, a friendly waiter filled us in on the members of the council that we do know. It turns out they are wealthy fur traders. They live on the eastern side of the river, away from the temple district. He called the guards the Wrath of Bokrug and confirmed that the people of this town worship Bokrug. The waiter also told us, he was very friendly. The waiter also told us we could go to the arena for a sporting festival or to the slave market, a market known for fine young women. I remember what Mina told us and shuddered, those poor girls. Instead, we asked about the arena and learned that the champion of the city was a man named Acaf. As we got to the arena, we saw many statues, and they all had the faces of our friend, Herr Kalbfleisch. Anton is a calf. We went to visit him. He warned us that we are in terrible danger. He also told us his sister has taken our sleeping beauty. Where she took him, he did not know. He also told us the mayor is not one of the dreamers. Herr Yoke is here, although Anton does not know who he is. We learned that Yoke is the one that gives people the power to enter the dreaming. This confirmed our suspicion related to the coins. Daniel noted that Anton's hand goes to a pouch at his waist when asked about how they enter the dreaming. And then we were awoken. We had been rudely summoned by the mayor. His son was climbing up the house to see his fiancée and fell the previous night. His fiancée appears to have cut his handholds. The mayor is very upset and no longer wants to hinder us. Instead, he wants us to help him. He opened the town records to us. Finally, we have plans to visit the fiancée and to review the town records after this brief stop for coffee and pastries.
Thank you, Stephen. So you're standing in the mayor's office, basically looking at each other, trying to decide where to go next. The mayor looks pretty weary, like crestfallen. So is there anything I can do to help you right now?
I think we'll need time to examine the records and see if we can figure out what the pattern is of the previous troubled shooting fairs. But perhaps if you could deputize an officer to go with us and meet your son's fiancée, a couple of us could go and speak to her. We have so little time.
Yeah, sure.
So I feel as though some of us who are bookish should pore over the archives, while some people who are more interpersonal could find out if the young lady even remembers doing anything.
Well, I'm pretty good at poring over archives, so
I'll go talk to the young lady.
Walter, I'll join you.
Thank you, Daniel.
But I guess I shall go through the archives as well. I've been meaning to look to them for quite a few days now.
It'd be good to have a lawyer's eyes on those for sure.
Yes.
And Carl?
Oh, I'll look at the archives as well.
Sure, Hans. But Carl, where are you going?
I'm going to look through the archives.
Okay, so the three of you go to the archives, and the Walter and Daniel. Let's start there. You're accompanied by the young trainee policeman you met on the first day, and you get up to the house of the Polands. It's a big mansion in the richer district of town. And after some brief discussion between the police constable and first a butler and then the father, you're led into a living room, and the young lady is brought to you. It's like a very good-looking, brown-haired, curly hairs, slender figure, and she seems very upset, very frightened, and she her glance goes from the policeman to the two of you. The father is standing protectively behind her. So if you have to, just then ask your questions.
We're very sorry for everything that you've been going through, and we hope that we can help you and the boy, as well as his father and your family, to understand what happened and to get.
But I don't understand it myself.
It seems like it was very confusing. Can you tell us what you do remember?
Well, I don't really remember anything. Hans Dieter, he was supposed to come by while my parents, and she looks up to her father while saying that the father is turning slightly red. Well, and he climbed up the shrubberies at the wall. He did that. He has done that often before. But then I heard this scream, and when I looked out of the window, and I had those this saw in my hand. I must have cut those metal things that are holding the grates, and he fell.
Do you remember anything, I guess, peculiar happening before that happened, like earlier that day?
No. I can't even remember going to the window, and I don't know why I would have done that. And the father is, don't.
We've all been young. We understand that young love is powerful. So please let your daughter help us to solve this. But I would like to ask you, sir, are you a member of the Rifle Club?
What's that to do with anything?
Trust me, I'm not sure about anything, so I'm just trying to get all the information I can to help. So are you a member of the Rifle Club?
Yes, I am.
I see. And you wouldn't happen to have talked with Herr Yoke about either the coins on his necklace or visiting a different land?
What are you talking about?
Would you rather talk in your study away from your daughter so you can be completely honest?
What are you implying? I am.
I'm nothing, sir. I understand parents have secrets from their children, and I'm trying to respect you. If you'd like to speak with me in private, that's fine.
No, I don't need to have any private conversation with you. What?
Very good.
What coins? You mean the chain of the Rifle Festival King? Or what do you mean?
I do.
Well, some ugly old coins. The thing is hideous, if you ask me.
You didn't happen to go see it yesterday, did you? Or speak with Herr Boat?
No. It's enough to see it once a year when after the Rifle Festival, when the king is crowned. I had this ugly thing around my neck one year.
Oh, did you?
Well, I've been the king of the Rifle Festival was like 8 or 9 years ago.
Congratulations.
Well, you have to do those things as a businessman. But what does this have to do with anything?
We're not really sure. It appears that there's something related to the festival and certain set of cycles that lead to people in this village behaving strangely, and we're just trying to verify what does and does not matter. So thank you for answering. Do you have any other questions for the girl, Daniel?
Doesn't remember anything odd happening that day. I don't think it's something directly to her. Just unfortunate that it happened.
It is
No,
very unfortunate.
Is Hans Dieter, is he going to be all right?
Well, my training is in veterinary science, not medicine, so I can't really say for
We
sure.
were told he will be all right, but we don't know specifics. I'm sorry.
So I think this has gone far enough.
I agree, sir. I think we've gotten all the information that we could from you and your daughter. But just one last question, Miss. You haven't seen that chain of coins or hair Volk recently, have you? Hair yoke?
No. Why would I?
Has anything unusual happened recently for you or your fiance?
No, not that I know. Why? I don't know.
Well, many unusual things have happened around here. There's been a shooting in the woods. Some sheep were attacked.
We didn't have anything to do with that.
The only weird thing is that all of the people that involved always report having really weird nightmares before happening. So I was curious if it's something like that happened for you.
Well, I have been having bad dreams lately, yes. I've been dreaming of this ugly lake, but what do my dreams have to do with anything? Give me.
As I said, we're still trying to piece all the bits of information together.
Could have been sleepwalking or.
Very possibly. Can you tell us more about your dreams? An ugly lake? Anything else?
Just an ugly lake and some strange ruins, and I was just wandering there, and I was terrified. But
did you see anyone or anything besides the ruins?
No, but I had the feeling there was something like following me.
And you wanted to turn around but couldn't?
I was afraid. I didn't want to see what was behind me.
Totally understandable. Dreams can be very frightening. What were the runes drawn on? Where did you see the runes?
Okay, what rooms?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said ruins. Was it
ruins?
Was it
yeah,
ruins?
I understood rooms.
Got it. Sorry,
Okay.
my misunderstanding.
No, mine.
Okay.
So, well, there was just crumbled old buildings. Well, I can't really remember. It's like, don't you know what it's like with dreams? Like, it's hard to remember what was in there.
Indeed.
Well, I will say you could be rest assured that what you told us has been helpful, and we think we might be able to figure. I think it might help us to figure something out. So hopefully this will work out in the end. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a. Pascal, what time? Keeper, what time is it?
Oh, it's Well, you were aroused quite early. It's like late morning.
All right.
Well, like 11 o'clock.
I hope you have a good. I hope you have a good lunch, and I hope
Yeah.
things work out for you.
You're ushered out of the house. The policeman's like, what is all this about those dreams and coins?
It's a long story, and I don't think you want to know.
Okay.
Have you been having strange dreams?
No.
Okay.
That's good for you. Because
So let's get back to the others. You get to the archives. Basically, a couple of basement room stuffed with filing cabinets, folders, boxes of papers. There's a lot to get through here. So I want you all, everyone, to make a library use roll, and tell me what you're mainly looking for.
I've got only a regular, which is a drag on 75%. I want to start with the records of the festival.
Okay.
Who has won in what years, whether there was a theme, and of course, if there's an incident of note that's in those records.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Joseph?
So I'll spend 9 luck points to get a success on my library use roll. And I guess I'm interested in town leadership
Okay.
over the years, especially when especially we've tracked down these years, this pattern, right? See if there's any patterns in terms of families or
Mm-hmm.
or whatnot.
Okay. And Carl?
I got a regular success. I'm going to look for references to missing persons, especially, well, not so recently, but maybe 58 years ago, or when supposedly this all was going on last time. Or weird reports to the town hall, or strange things going on.
Okay. So let's start with Hans. God, my memory is terrible. Hans, can you remind me again, give me a hint what your
Yeah, festival records.
festival records. Okay.
Winners, losers.
What you basically find is there is a pattern matching these 58 years. Over the last at least 300 years, every time you can find the records of the who won the festival, it's not you can find every year, but more than half of those instances are the name York. And what you find is that the name never turns up as a winner of the festival on any year that doesn't fit the pattern.
The Yolks win on 58. And that's when things go awry.
Yeah, and you find some, all of you find some in the police records. You find instances of violence that are occurring around this 58 year pattern. So that seems to fit. And as you go back in time, you find Carl, you find a big tomb on an old city chronicle.
Excerpt from a Seehausen town chronicle of the late 18th century. Seehausen was once owned, was Laken?
Taken.
Taken. Seehausen was taken only once, and that happened on the 9th of October, 1522, when about 800 horsemen of Bishop Johannes of Heidelsheim attacked the town walls. Despite brave resistance in which even the women folk took part, and in which, above all, the local marksman guild rendered great service. The Landsknechts succeeded in taking the town on the third assault. The fleeing Seehauseners set fire to their own houses, while the victors went murdering through the streets, not sparing even small children in their bloodlust. Most of the citizens succeeded in entrenching themselves in the castle of Sehusa, and from there they bravely returned to the fire. But even the fortress would have fallen in the end if the besieged had not agreed to the conditions of the Heidelsheim leader, to hand over to him all children older than 1, but younger than 3, in order to prevent these innocent children from falling victim to the violence of the battle, and in the event of the final defeat, to hand them over to the church. For at their age, the children were capable to travel, but still uncorrupted by the spirit of their forebears. This, however, was a great treachery on the part of the attackers, and the weeping mothers from whom their loved ones were snatched later cursed their good faith in the face of these lies sanctioned by the bishop. Accompanied by musicians from the mercenary regiment, the children were taken away, but most of them were never heard of again. Only a few corpses were found floating and horribly mutilated in a small pond north of the city wall. And as if their task was done, the foreign horsemen and the bishops, after stealing all of the valuables except for the church treasure, departed without conquering Sehusa Castle itself, as quickly and abruptly as they had attacked the poor town before. Why would they take all the children? Kill them.
How far away from Hamlin?
We're thinking the same thing, the Pied Piper of Hamlin.
It's a rough parallel, but the musicians carrying the children away to their doom is reminiscent.
Yeah, same thought crossed my mind.
So, and Joseph, you look into the town leadership. You can't really find anything in the earlier history of the town, but what you can find is there are definitely in the recent years there are signs of corruption. The mayor tends to give big building projects to himself. The accounting doesn't seem to be very straight. There are instances of big projects given to family members, to a brother of the mayor.
It's the current mayor.
The current mayor.
And this is fairly recent. This. Okay.
Yeah. That.
So when you said Yoke was always the winner in the years of the pattern, so we're talking about like a grandfather and grandson, and is that roughly?
Yeah, something like that. Okay. That should be. You find the name York in different functions over the years. For example, you find an interrogation paper from the 17th century where he was a magistrate and signed the interrogation of some suspects. So the name Yoke seems to be go very far back.
What's the earliest reference, roughly?
Well, the earliest references basically go back to what was here to the 16th century, which fits basically with this city chronicle. You found that there are that the town was ransacked at that time, and you don't find any real papers from before that time.
And that sculpture we found in the earlier episode, that was from a yoke, right?
Yeah.
Did we have that dated?
Let me see. That was, where is it? Well, you don't have you didn't have it dated as such, but the plaques that the creator, this Jacob Yoke, was born in 1755 and died 1810.
So Jacob Yoke was his name, and does his name also show up in these records that we're looking at?
No.
Although he died in 1810, isn't that also the year that Fritz was killed?
Yes, but well, he died in Hildesheim, not in Seehusen.
Right. 58 years doesn't go back to 1522, the year of the raid. It goes back to 1520. Perhaps that raid was in response to what had happened in 1520. It took them 2 years to raid the city. Or my math is wrong.
No, I think your math is right.
So the good news, in a very limited sense, is that if we stop Joch from winning, then perhaps we can stop the festival disaster. Although the human toll has already been considerable this season.
I think the question is why does Yoke have to win? It means that he gets to have the circlet of coins. And if we think the coins are allowing some sort of movement between the world and the dreamlands, why does he need that every 58 years, or a Yoke needs it? Something.
And is there some sort of curse on the family that befalls the town every time when he does win?
Not on his family, usually. Seems like everybody else suffers. And what happened to the half-human children from the last festival?
Yeah, you find as well that there are at least the last two instances of the 58-year cycle. There are reports of girls, young women going amiss after the festival, going into the water, of children that were born but can't be followed up, so presumed to have died.
Yeah.
So there are always reports of missing children.
So it seems as though since the founding of Seehusen as some Ibian-related thing with the Joch family, they've been trading half-human or human offspring in return for the favors that they receive in this pleasant village, and also access to to the dream almost all makes sense.
Daniel and Walter, you can at some point you can join the others if you like.
Presumably bearing coffee and pastries.
Yeah.
Best time.
You find them basically all of them under stacks of papers and rummaging through stuff.
If we think for a moment about the way these fairy tales and these curses and heroes and villains and everything sort of tend to work in the stories, could it also be possible that the Yoke family do something every 58 years to prevent something worse from happening? I mean, no condemnations either way, but maybe it involves human sacrifice, sacrificing the children to keep something worse from coming through. I'm not condoning anything, but if we think about this whole situation like a fairy tale, how do you think the fairy tale would seem to go? Usually you can guess. It's usually a moral story. You mentioned Hamlin. The Pied Piper calls down a curse upon them because they don't pay him. They're greedy, they're dishonest.
If I think about a fairy tale, I think about it as the latest generation of people keeping this deal with this thing from beyond inside a pond fails to make the deal. He's eviscerated, and the thing in anger leaves and closes the gates and never to return. But maybe
or it brings down its wrath upon everybody involved and destroys the whole country as a result, or the whole world.
Most tales don't ever go that far of scale. But,
at some point in the early afternoon, you'll basically get hungry, and most likely you'll go out for some to grab a bite to eat.
As I leave, I'll commend the mayor on his excellent record keeping.
I doubt that he's ever actually even come into this room.
Very thorough bookkeeping, Mr. Mayor. Very, very good.
Which got underlings to do. I'll have schnitzel.
And as you're walking away from the town hall, do a spot hidden.
03.
Okay. You immediately you immediately see lurking at a corner this diminutive doctor, what is he called? The physics teacher Lehman.
Dr. Lehman.
Yeah, he seems to be watching the city hall, and when he sees you, he tries to hide around the corner.
Okay, guys, Dr. Lehman's hiding around the corner. I'm going to change my trajectory and quickly run to where the building is blocking his view of me, but so that I can get up close and then go around the corner suddenly.
Yeah, you go around the corner, and he actually is just standing there behind the corner. Oh God! Oh God.
Dr. Lehman.
You noticed me. Oh God. Wait, I'm
gonna motion for the others to.
He said, maybe not here, out in the open.
let's go somewhere quiet.
Yeah, let's go somewhere
Back
quiet.
to our room.
Okay. So you bring him back to the hotel.
Yeah. Are you afraid of somebody, Doctor?
Well, you can say that. I've we talked about this phrase.
The
I-
mouse
I-
phrase?
Yeah, I think I thought it might be it might be really the spell that's needed to banish those things, but I was caught by the breath of Bakruk. Have you been to Ilarnik now?
Yes.
Yeah, so but I can't give specifics.
It didn't work. They just caught me, and well, I was able to escape. You see, I'm experienced dreamer, and I'm able to wake up whenever I want. So they couldn't hold me. But you said something about this girl.
I think she's in one of the towers.
Well, yeah, I think I found out where she is.
Oh,
You see, there is a place supposedly in Ilarnik, the sleepless, that's called the Sleepless Tower. It's in the to the north of in the northern edge of the town, and it's supposed to be a place where you can't where it's impossible to wake.
Is it in some kind of unkempt park or wild place?
Yeah, I think I was there once, but it's a place nobody likes to go. It's like an old cemetery or something.
Mm.
You think she's trapped there?
if it gets covered in, I guess, thorned bushes.
Well, if it's the place I'm thinking of, yes, that it is.
Do you know, Professor,
Oh,
the identity of Akaf?
Yes, he's of course.
Yeah. What do they call his sister there? What's Paola's name?
I'm not really sure. If I must guess, I would say she's that beauty queen.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh. Paakis.
Arcus.
Well, she's seen as the most beautiful woman in all of Ilarnik. She selects a new lover every evening,
Lucky
How
fellows.
exhausting.
and the one chosen never is taken to her palace and never shows up again.
Hmm. Does she have any relationship to the Sleepless Tower that you know of?
I think she knows about it.
I think she does too. And you don't know what to call Yoch in Alarnak.
Well, I fear he is one of the leaders of the new council.
So there are humans on the new council. It's not all Ibian.
No, the members of the new council, they are always robed, and they have those wear those hideous masks. But I think they are dreamers. I'm pretty sure of it.
The whole council?
Yes.
Well, we're thinking that some of them may be Ibians in disguise.
Might also just be people with Vivian blood.
Why 58 years, Professor? Is there something celestial? Is there some standard ratio between time here and time in the dream?
No, time runs completely different in the Dreamlands. But you see, I fear they might have found out who I am in here. You see, I always thought they couldn't recognize me in the Dreamlands. I changed my appearance there, but I'm not so sure. So I don't know what to do. If they know who I am, I fear for my life.
Do you think they would take action against you here or there, or both?
I'd rather think about it.
Have you someplace to go?
Some relative to visit outside of this place?
For at least, I guess, a month or two.
Not really. And
Perhaps we could meet in the Dreaming and protect you there, and you could stay here in our rooms.
yes, maybe I can help you there. We have to do something about this. The whole town is gone crazy. Have you noticed that there are brawls on the streets? People are getting so aggressive.
So it looks like this happens every 58 years, like clockwork. So we're trying to find some correlation between events. What you say that time works differently in the Dreamlands, but is there a consistency? For instance, is 58 years 1,000 years there?
No, you can't. No, you can.
Segment drink.
You can think of it like that. Time and space is completely different there. It changes depending on who you are, what you want.
What did you mean about them trying to use, what did you call it, the breath of Bokrug?
Those hooded figures that...
The wrath of Bokrug.
The
So
wrath.
They're
Okay.
like secret agent. They're like their secret hand.
Yeah. You have changed your appearance. Why did the wrath of Bokrug attack you this time? What gave you away, do you think?
Well, I was foolish. I tried those words, and when I spoke them, basically everyone around me turned on me. They called it the great blasphemy, and I was surrounded. They took me and brought me to the rat's chamber, and they made like a mock trial. As I said, they were going to drown me, but well, I can escape from there. That is not the problem. But if they found out who I am here, well, I have no power
Was there
on
any
this side of
Dr.
the
Lehman, I
wall.
have to ask this very specifically. Was there any specifics about why they called it the Great Blasphemy?
No, they wouldn't even repeat the words. They were just charging me with calling out the great blasphemy.
Can you tell us what the words are so that we can?
Oh, it's the
mouse and the cat.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
all
He
right.
repeats
Missed
the rhyme.
Perhaps it's
It's the words of the Sandman. So
it needs to be spoken at the rifle festival and not in the dreaming.
maybe it has effect here, not there.
Dr. Lemon, we have gotten on good terms with Mayor Gruber.
He's not part of the council.
So perhaps he can make sure that you're safe in the hotel until we have the whatever alarming confrontation will come at the festival. I assume you'd be safer in the hotel than in your own rooms if they're after you, especially if the mayor is prepared to vouch for you.
Yes, I agree.
Or you could just get the first train out of town.
You said you were an experienced dreamer. Have you ever met an Ibian that you knew was an Ibian?
Well, not outside of this cursed town of Ilarnik. I've never been to Ib itself. It's a dreadful place as far as I've heard. So
We've been there.
You're not missing much.
We've been there. We've been to Sarnath. All right. So the Ibians were wiped out by the Sarnathians. And the Sarnathians were wiped out by the Ibians 1,000 years later.
It's like supposedly, I guess.
And it was
Did
a
something.
dispute over the statue of Bokrug, which was stolen.
And then I guess moved to Ilarnak.
Was the statue?
the statue is in Ilarnik. It's in a big temple.
Oh,
Okay. So I'm thinking, how does the gold relate? We've seen the gold. It seems to have ties to Ib.
you think it's made from the statue?
No, the Sarnathians may have stolen all any treasure that there was.
The statue rests on those hideous coins.
Oh,
Supposedly, they are awarded to faithful followers of Bokrug.
But it seems to me that the problem is that the Ibians the Ibians have a reason to be pissed off because their people were slaughtered. So I'm inclined to think that whatever is going on, the violence, the strange things are brought on by the Ibians as a punishment. And the people who have the coins may or may not be innocent, but they are certainly the focus of the curse.
this sounds kind of preposterous, but
And does it sound like the answer would be to give the Ibians back their coins?
yes, but what if it's more the people of Shayhausen descend from Sarnathians?
I don't think these are living human things. They're dream things.
Perhaps, but it would explain, like, I guess, the endless hatred.
Well, we also have we do have, people disappearing in ponds and children of mysterious origin being taken away. So there's some kind of breeding program. But I don't think it's Sarnathians. Maybe the Ibians are trying to recover their numbers.
Or their coins.
Oh, what is the tale of the fellow in the cave with the coins? Yoch was involved with this.
I think it was this as a Senate or something, yeah. Like the merchant, they went to a cave with a frog of a bunch of gold. He dropped a coin to find it. Where was it?
There was the note you found copied from Unaussprechlichen Kulten, from Unspeakable Cults.
Oh, right.
About a man, a moneylender who got those coins and became extremely successful.
He did, but wasn't there a little bit after that happened?
Well, he basically lost one of the coins, and he
Chased it.
and he was
Found Bokrag.
Yeah, he found Bokrag and was eaten by him.
Then perhaps it's just the coins are just tethers to Bokrag.
Well, I'm just trying to think of what we can do to stop or prevent. So far, everything just seems like it's going to happen, whether we do anything or not, because we don't know what to do.
It feels like it's a system of sorts, but like I don't know what it's leveraged on.
Although again, if we can stop York from winning, then that might prevent
It might break the
this-
scale.
Yeah, whatever exchange or contract or repetition is involved. Perhaps all the deaths that have happened so that Yoch will win. But if the mayor has Yoch in chains in the basement of City Hall, I don't see how he can win the shooting contest, for example. I'm sure we could find Yoch guilty of something. Or if we take the chain, I mean, you said, Carl, that he had the circlet very well protected.
Mhm.
But he has to bring it out to bring it to the festival. I'm wondering also, I assume Max and Walter, you have told us about what little the brunette had to say.
Yeah. I think
Um,
everyone that's been having issues has had dreams of Ib.
the dream is interesting, but also the fact that again, trying to fit these things into a Grimm's tale. When Rapunzel's hair was cut and her lover, the prince, fell, he was blinded by the thorns, but then didn't her tears cure him?
Yes.
So I'm wondering if we shouldn't get the girl to visit Hans Dieter in the hospital, and if her tears can't help him with his paralyzed limbs.
Should we go to Alarnak and find the sleepless tower and take the girl out so
Part of
she
the
can
best,
wake up?
Maybe she knows something, or at least
Maybe she's like a conduit that this whatever it is has to travel along.
possible.
Somebody who can't wake up.
Could that be the same young woman from the village outside of the town?
I think
Yes,
so.
I think so.
She's in a coma, but she's
She
really
was a-
locked in the dream tower.
Also, do you think that Sleepless Tower was the one that you Prince and Locke dreamed about when we on the train to town?
The description seems to match.
Sleeping
And to-
Beauty.
What is inviting us into the dreamland without the magic that the locals use? It began even as we came in on the train.
I found a coin, didn't I?
In the
The coin in our
dreams.
first dream.
That was, I think, Daniel found the dream.
Maybe it was
the
Daniel.
coin in it, but that was in the first dream. In the first
Yeah.
dream, we all had together.
Right.
Yeah,
Before that, we had
Hans-
the train
Han-
dream.
Train.
You remember?
And that's when we
this,
saw the Sandman.
Yeah, you remember this Sandman figure that seemed to be looking at you when you
Right.
when
Did the
after.
Sandman choose us to do something about this?
Dr. Lehmann, does the Sandman appear at the festival every year? Or every, say, 70 years?
Well, he's just here. He's just a fairy tale.
No, he's not.
I've
That's good
never
enough for
seen
some.
him. I've never seen him anywhere. I know that he is supposed to be an agent of the rulers of Zag.
An agent of the rulers of Zog?
Zach,
Zach.
didn't we meet, I guess, the descendants once?
Yeah, you heard that from the
Right. The 7 short cobblers. Yes, we saw him on our train journey towards Ehusen.
He gave
None
us.
of us had heard of him before.
Well, he's supposed to be the one who collects everything in the dreamlands that's supposed to be forgotten. He's the custodian of nightmares. So basically his job is to
prevent this.
take away that from the dreamlands that's not that has outlived its use.
Then perhaps he's stuck somewhere and he's only able to guide people externally to help him.
Perhaps he's not stuck, but perhaps he's prevented from entering this place by the magic that is paid for with sacrifice or
Symbols of a god of dreams.
I say we wake up, we get the girl and get her out of that castle so she can wake up.
Yeah, we should at least help her first. And then maybe we can find the Sandman.
I don't know what that will stop or prevent or cause, but it's something to do.
And she knows about the professor, perhaps.
Who's probably what happened to him.
If she can wake up, she might, if we get her to wake up, perhaps she could provide some insight to the professor.
I also think another possibility thing that we need to think about is how to get a hold of those coins and
Perhaps
maybe return them to Ib.
Perhaps we give him the Sandman, he can get rid of them.
I think they've been stolen and they need to be returned to wherever they came from.
Perhaps, but
like I say, we can speculate about it all day and night. We need to do something.
Yeah. And don't forget, we can go talk to Anton and Paula as well. Anton at least is our friend.
Yes, but I feel like if Paula is aware of it, she might alert the other members of the council.
What day is it right now in their game?
It's Thursday.
We still got 2 days, for the festival.
Is there an opening ceremony Friday night, or does it really begin Saturday morning?
The first of the vendors are supposed to get into town later this day, and on Friday there would be an opening ceremony.
I guess we start looking around the festival tomorrow.
So what do they shoot? Targets?
I assume.
Well, that's usually it's a wooden something like a wooden eagle or something, and the one who with a crown on it, and the one who shoots the crown off the hat is the winner.
Wow,
impressive!
That is how it's done in most towns.
Hopefully, there's no buildings on the other side of the eagle where the stray bullets go.
A lot of straw bales are involved.
Yeah,
I would think.
Or a hillside.
What if we sabotage it so that the crown won't come off?
Bullets are bullets.
Nobody wins.
Yeah, no one will win. But maybe they'll probably just pick one because it's the person who volunteered the money for it anyway.
Yeah, we want to make sure you cannot win.
I doubt
or somebody else does.
What's Yoke's family situation? He has his wife who...
He has a wife, but...
can't speak.
Who can't speak.
She has a stroke.
Or that's what they call it. Perhaps she's under some gash, or...
Maybe she's fine. Maybe she's fine in the dreams.
We could break his legs.
I would go with the fingers if I were going to stop him from shooting, I think.
If we have to. But
maybe we should change the bylaws so that the chairman of the council can't participate. And then what do they do?
I don't know what we could do in a.
Just set fire to the fair.
You know what we need is thousands and thousands of fake blossoms.
And as you discuss the whole thing, and you at some point you go back to the you went back to the archives because there was hours and hours of digging through stuff until you get the things that I told you. And from time to time, one of you, some of you are getting outside, having a smoke. And at one point, you see there's a bit of commotion on on one of the biggest streets of the town square, and you see that there are a couple of carts, like vendor wagons and carnival wagons, are driving through, and one immediately draws your attention because it's covered in flowers. Like in paper, in silk paper
Artificial
flowers.
flowers.
Yeah.
Follow that truck, that car.
I just image all of us are just laughing like we're all losing our fucking minds.
Well, let's definitely go over and investigate a little bit.
Yes.
Do we smell anything like fish? Red herring?
No.
Is it red herring flowers?
All right. Yeah, we'll definitely go over and see who's driving the, you said it's like a vendor wagon.
Yeah, you hurry after the train of carts. And let me see, Hans and Joseph, you definitely recognize the man who's sitting on the front of this horse-drawn cart. The professor has shaved off his sideburns and seems to have dyed his hair, but it's definitely him.
So all this time, and then he just drives it down one day and drives right by us.
Is he just running a flower business for like the last week?
So all five of us are outside, and we saw this. Is that?
Yeah, I think we're walking to the cart.
Mr. Lack, is it just me, or is that the man we're looking for?
I think
Who just drove by us in a wagon full of artificial flowers.
I think, Herr Prince, that given that he looks like he's in disguise, we shouldn't call his name. But-
Very clever, yes. Very clever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he look to be? Was he alone on the cart?
Yeah, he was alone. It's like a big vendor's cart, and looks like there's a sign on the top with showing a rifle. So seems to be a shooting booth.
Yeah. So his research led him to this town, and then he lost the girl because of her ritual. And then he needed a plan to attend the rifle festival.
So he ran away to quickly
So
grab
he-
a business together.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just a fake business. He's just
Yeah, I
pretending
think
to be a vendor.
So
so. We shouldn't all run after and mob him, but either I or Prince, or perhaps we should send Henning. But he might panic if it's a stranger. But he didn't. He looked.
he might
didn't
panic
look-
if it's someone he knows.
That's right. He wasn't drooling slightly, or he didn't have a vacant
Well,
look in his eye.
you're
Is
not
he fully
that close.
clothed?
You're not. He's fully closed. Yeah.
We should
An
go fall
improvement.
after him and then make a decision when we see him closer.
So there are several. Also, that they're
There are a
setting
couple
up the square. So there are other carts coming. in.
They are driving to a big lawn near the near the rifle club home.
Mm-hmm.
And
And it's midday, and it's a or you know,
it's late
afternoon.
It's late afternoon.
So, are there children following the
There are
carts?
children.
And
There are
there's-
children running behind the carts, and
yeah. So we'll join the general excitement toward the green where the carts are setting up, and then we'll find an opportune moment to knock the professor over his head, drag him to the train, and leave this godforsaken place.
Take him back to his wife.
Take him back to his wife. Sorry.
We should probably ask him some questions before we do that, but that sounds like a plan.
Well, I mean, I don't know. He doesn't know who I am, so we can at least find out what he's up to.
What's like, I guess, his
I could just
cover.
be a friend, help him to unpack his cart or whatever. You know, as if I was just part of the other people that are around setting up for the fair.
Fine idea, detective.
so you just walk up to where he.
We'll wait until they've gotten to the field and he's found a spot.
Yeah,
And I'll walk up and I'll just be like, do you need some assistance? I can help you unpack.
and he's just loosening some straps on the vehicle, and you can easily see that he's not used to doing what he's doing there. He's fumbling with the straps. He's not like when that's your business, you know every movement you have to do, and so
Yeah. Here, let me help you with that, and I'll.
No. I don't need help.
Oh, it's no problem. We're all friends here. Please,
Yeah.
let me assist you.
He seems to be a little nervous. Look, no, please leave me alone. Well, the fair is not opening till tomorrow.
Yes. Where did you come from? We're setting up here. Quite.
Wait,
We'll have it all set up.
from all over.
And I'll continue to just start helping.
No, please, sir. Would you be so kind and leave me alone?
So you're a seller of artificial flowers. Lovely.
What? No, this is a shooting booth. You can win those flowers.
Ah, very good.
I have whole boxes of them. If you want to come by tomorrow, I can. You can be the first one.
Are you entered in the contest?
What contest?
The shooting contest.
No,
I assume you can shoot.
well, of course I can shoot. This is my business.
I'm just generally ignoring him, trying to get.
Please, sir. Would you please leave me alone?
And 25 feet away, Prince and I are watching this, and
it's
we're
no
like,
trouble at all, and I just keep going.
He doesn't seem to know how to react. Please, sir. I don't want to draw attention to myself. Here, he hands you a 10 marks note. Here.
Thank you.
For your trouble, and please leave me alone.
There's no need. You're going to draw attention to yourself if you don't know how to unpack your own cart.
What do you mean? Of course I know how to unpack it.
Just I'll say, are you sure you don't need any help?
Yes, I'm very sure. Now, please be along.
I tap my head, and I start to walk away.
so, Yosef, maybe we go with his Christian name.
Yes, perhaps we should make our presence known and see how he responds.
Eusebius.
Yeah, so we approach the
Daniel.
cart.
Daniel, if they're going to approach the cart, let's try and be in good position in case the professor decides to bolt for it
Yeah,
I'll go the other
I'm
way
watching
around.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call. Eusebius, schöne Blumen.
And when you call his name, you see that he reacts. He starts to turn around, and then he just keeps on doing what he's doing. But you see that he's trying to sneak a look behind himself, and you see his hands are trembling.
Yeah, I want to make this as brief as possible. It's all right, Eusebius. We are. It's
So you got close up.
yeah. It's Hans Peter.
Please stop. He looks at Hans. What on earth? What are you doing here?
You've given us a merry chase. Herr Prince is here as well.
We're here for the festival, just like you.
What's the meaning of this?
Well, Yolanta was very worried, and now that we're here, we're worried also. Let's, if we all just work on your truck, we can speak quietly and not get any more attention.
Yes, Herr Professor. Let's do this quietly and then we'll talk. As we all get closer and closer and we start undoing the cart and
This the fellow that you that took your money is a friend, and this fellow and the young man also. So two of them were hired by Yolanta.
He basically looks from one to the other, and he looks like he's looking for an escape route, but as you have basically surrounded him, he's like, what? I don't.
Herr Professor, we have been to the city. We found you.
What do you mean you found me?
We found your body by the statue of the Temple of Bokrug. We know you're not mad, Professor.
Oh my God.
I know a place that makes really good coffee and pastries. Let's go talk more privately.
We all have.
Yes.
And I give him his 10-mark note back.
Well, let's go get inside the caravan, and we can talk there.
Sounds good.
With 6 of you, it's a little cramped in there.
Cramped.
By the way, I'm Walter von Arenberg. Very nice to meet you, Professor. Finally.
We'll give him a bit of a rundown of what we've gone through. We originally came looking for him, and we started to put together probably the same things that he's been putting together. And what our concerns are at this point.
Perhaps you can enlighten us on what we've, I guess, missed from your perspective.
And why did you shout Eureka that night?
What?
Why did you shout Eureka that night? What did you find?
Well, when I realized that I've read this the name York before, and the connection to the town of Seehusen, that I found the lead to this town, and where this dreaded version of the fairy tale, which brought me on to this. Oh my God! I wish I would never have seen all these things. You see, I thought it was all idle curiosity, and I never suspected that anything could happen by this. Do you know what happened to poor Anna Rose?
She's unconscious in her family home.
I feared as much.
We believe that she's been taken to the Sleepless Tower in Ilornak.
I don't know what that is.
There's a tower. Think Sleeping Beauty. She's stuck in the tower and she can't wake up.
Well, I was fearful of something like that. And it's my fault that she's been taken by those creatures.
What happened that night?
Well, it's also hazy. We thought we could try out this ritual, and we could find a way into this land of dreams. Anna Rose was pretty certain that it would work. I thought it was some nonsense, some charlatanery, but well, I was intrigued. But then we were at this hideous lake, and it didn't take us long to be attacked by those creatures. And the last thing I remember is that I was surrounded by them, and I saw them dragging Anna Rose away, and then they.
These were the robed creatures?
No, those lizard things.
The Ibians.
They're called that. See, I have the.
Apparently, our research has been more thorough than yours, Professor.
What have you been doing for the last 4 days?
We've been looking for you everywhere.
I was trying to get back to the. I was trying to get back into the dreamlands, but it doesn't seem to work outside of the town. But I was afraid to get back here.
I don't think it works because supposedly
we seem to be able to go there every single night.
I think it's because
you do?
You aren't able anymore.
We spent 7 months walking across the frickin' desert to get to Ilarnak.
I even tried large doses of laudanum, and
no, what we were told is that if you were killed in the dreamland, your access to it is cut off.
No more vessel to go to.
And
but I have to go there. I have to help Anna Rose. I can't just leave her.
I understand, Professor, but
and
that's our intention to do tonight.
See, here, this is what brought me on this whole train of things. And he rummaged through a cupboard and draws out an old book.
Is this from Anna Rose's house?
No, that's from the Prussian State Archive. I'll have to do some explaining when I get back to Berlin.
Yes, your reputation is somewhat tarnished, frankly.
Well, actually, I couldn't care less at the moment.
And rightly so.
And he flips through some pages and opens it to a page where he has a bookmark and shows you a passage.
And thus I am forced to think back of all that my former correspondent, Jacob Grimm, described to me all those years ago. The hideous creatures of nightmarish Ib have survived all these centuries, still nurturing their idle Bokrug and feeding its insatiable hunger. Given enough time, and why shouldn't they have such as they are of the dreaming world, they might even expand its reach outside of the Harz Mountains and the small town of Seehusen. Who can tell what they might be capable of if they would be able to bring enough might to their god and thus entangle the two worlds closely outside the repeating cycle. But alas, it is blessing as much as curse that their mingling with human women seems only possible every 8 and 50 years. By this, their growth in numbers is only a slow one. But as I have learned, their destruction could only be achieved by calling the Sandman, as he is called on these parts, by his rhyme. Yet the blasphemous chain that binds both worlds together and draws them closer prevents him from finding them in this as well as in the other world. and thus the chain has to be destroyed, its coins, carvings utterly erased before the calling might even be attempted. Or could it be possible to remove the whole chain from this world? Might not that break its spell and workings, as it is only brought about by its existence in this world, where it was never meant to be? I can just wonder, and yet I am not willing to stand against any of those following the accursed yoke, for their power in the dreaming lands is increased manyfold by their coins.
Destroy the coins,
Or get
and
the
the
chain.
Sandman then has access.
And he can
We have
clean it
to-
up.
We do the right, we call him with the
That's why it's
rhyme
called
of the,
that's why it's called the Great Blasphemy, because it calls him.
that's right.
What was your plan, Professor, with this information? What were you going to do?
I was hoping that I could find my way back to the Dreamlands.
And do what?
To be honest, I don't really know.
I guess try to find Anna Rose and then work from
You
there.
know, I think this chain could. Is it something that they have here?
Yes.
We've seen it.
The cursed Yoch family that you heard referred to, after have been handling it these centuries in their dealings with the Ibians. It has coins from the Dreamlands on it. But I wonder if the suggestion is that we could throw it into one of the sinkholes and it would go back to the Dreamlands.
It might be better if we throw it into the one that is going to appear this year. Or I guess it might be, that's a sinkhole, it may be a breeding pool. Ugh.
Why don't we just melt it down?
I guess we
Just
could.
destroy its face.
Just
destroy
go, I
it
guess,
under.
just get a pot of oil and just drop it in there. Gold's usually
Oil?
soft.
Oil is not that hot generally, but if there's a good oven,
Yeah.
that which a fair should have, we should be able to
Maybe even a
ruin
prayer.
it.
I'm sure there's a farrier in town with all the farmers here.
So
Um,
Well, yeah.
Well,
you
Yoch
have
keeps
all
it in a
kinds of-
safe with a secret. How you described it, Carl? He had both a physical lock and a wheel lock
Yes,
in a
he's got
hidden
a-
safe.
Yes,
Who
it's
knows?
got it
I
in
might
the
have to wait
safe.
till the festival itself.
Gentlemen, this note says if they would bring enough might to their god and entangle the two, could that relate to the story of the castle and the abducting the innocent children into the lake?
I think they're breeding with humans. They're stealing
I-
people to breed with.
Every 58 years, I think they're able to manifest here enough to breed.
Perhaps the breach between the worlds is the hole, the sinkhole that manifests.
Or is that lake some sort of portal? If they're marched into the lake under from the musician?
Maybe when the barrier is thin enough, they just walk from the wake to from the waters.
If we destroy the coins, they shouldn't be able to get through.
Or at least the Sandman should be used to come here and close it.
And the Sandman should be able to come here and destroy the whole thing. I'm wondering if we go through tonight to rescue the girl, what would happen if we called out the rhyme?
I don't think it would work because the Bokrick's strength blocks him, as the note says. It blocks the Sandman.
Yeah, it says that he can't hear even the rhyme as long as the chain's intact and present. I wonder how far the mayor is willing to go to save his son, and how do we convince them? That was also in Sprachlichen Kulten.
How desperate are we? We could break into Yoke's house. And
I think we should
tie-
try to save Anna Rose first,
tie
and
him
then
up.
all hands should be off.
That's a good point, Daniel. We don't want to leave the poor innocent girl there.
We should make sure she's okay before we possibly just torch everything.
Before we cut the
Professor, at the place where Annalise went into her coma, you had done some kind of ritual, we believe, correct?
Yes.
Did it make you fall asleep, or did you?
It was her idea.
Her idea.
She's really into all those. Well, I would have said mumbo jumbo, but it actually worked.
Well, it worked in summoning them, you mean?
Well, we drew those signs, and we took a dose of the laudanum, and then we fell asleep and woke up in this terrible place.
All right. How did you get away from the public pools?
It's also so hazy. When I can hardly remember that I ran. I couldn't wake Anna Rose, and God forgive me, I was so scared, and it's all just like I've been watching it from above. I can hardly remember taking any decisions. I ran back to the hotel, and I got my stuff, and I just flagged down a truck that was driving through the town.
You know that they're looking for you?
Well, I was thinking so. That's why I did this whole charade. I didn't want to go back and have anyone find me here.
Do you think it'll be safer, fellows, if he comes to the hotel with us, or if he stays in the caravan, or some other option?
Probably safer in a public place, I imagine.
He could watch our sleeping bodies while we go into the dreaming.
I think that he needs to be in a place that's quiet and secretive, because public place isn't necessarily safe. There's all sorts of weird, violent shit going on here.
Could
lock him up in the archive.
Could be approached by some strange individuals.
Especially if he's been seen. If he's been seen in the dreamlands and he doesn't have the ability to change his appearance, or at least wasn't aware of that, then they could find him here as well. I think he's in danger. You've shaved but
I think the dye looks great, actually. We should keep that when we get back to Berlin.
You look 20 years younger.
Were you planning on just staying in the cart?
Yes.
Why didn't you come back and stay in our place where it's safer?
Wouldn't it be suspicious if the cart wasn't occupied?
Fair point.
Well, I guess.
I assume some of the people. Yeah, I don't know. Are other people? Does it seem as though these caravans are designed often for residential use as well as?
There's like a small bunk and a table in the front part.
All right, so it's not just drawn by a horse that it's one thing that opens up as a display. It's got a whole.
Yeah, it's like there's a small cubby in the forward part, which is like the living area.
All right. Oh, I
guess we get dreaming now. Hey, Keeper, can I use my psychology, etc., to see if I could tell he's lying or holding anything back from us?
In fact, if anybody has any psychotherapy, psychoanalysis, and could
I rolled a
haven't.
20 on my psychology of 70, so that's a hard success. I do have psychoanalysis.
You don't think that he's holding back with anything?
Okay.
He seems generally scared, and you think he's near. He's had a breakdown, and he's near having another one.
Yeah, Vulture,
Yeah,
you have
maybe.
experience with people in distress. Perhaps you should sit quietly with him for a while we go out of the caravan and make plans.
I think that's very wise, Hans.
I'm wondering also, Josef, if we should report back to the wife that he's been found, or if communications might not be secure from a place like this.
I could put together a quick letter or telegraph.
Yeah, if you could telegram something that could perhaps bring Yolanta some assurance, but didn't indicate if Yoch has a friend in the telegram office. Oh, we've got him. We've got him and the flowers. So something a little subtle. Does the professor keeper look like he's been eating? This is,
Well, he doesn't look emaciated, but
he's shaken, but he's not.
Yeah.
He doesn't stink or
no.
have smears.
Well,
of blood.
he's not as
He's not the dapper Don.
well-groomed and camped as he usually is.
Sure.
So there's stubble on his face, and which
All better for his disguise, really. Well, Henning, you know about criminal things, you and Lieberman. Are we looking at are we going to try to take Yoch by storm and demand the chain?
Well, as I said, it depends on how desperate we are. If we are really desperate, we could break in and tie him up and just take what we want. And if we save everyone by getting that stupid necklace, just melt it down. However, is the necklace the whole extent of it, or does some of these other dreamers have coins in their pockets?
They might have coins, but the text from the old book said it's the chain that must be broken.
It's the centerpiece of the whole thing. If we get rid of it, at least it will weaken it enough to possibly call the Sandman.
And it's definitely a case that we want to, bring in it was the Sandman who allowed Prince and I to dream the first dream. We're his unwitting agents on some level, and we're not going to win this battle. We need to bring in that figure that they've feared for hundreds of years.
They feared it so much that they were going to drown a person for just speaking the summoning. Which means we probably shouldn't put bigger targets on our back until after we get Anna Rose. So I say we consider doing physical action against Yoke tomorrow.
Yeah, I think, again, particularly if we can, I don't know what we tell the mayor that doesn't sound insane. But Yoch is going to be bringing the chain out of his safe to the opening ceremonies.
So maybe
that's when you show a thing off.
What if we waylay him before he gets there?
Or we convince the mayor that Yoch is the one who sawed through the fiance's fence, because, the Yoch family is always trying to control the city. And so he agrees to arrest Yoch at the opening ceremony. We take the chain and we throw it into the biggest furnace we can grab, or into a lake.
Do we even have a possibility of convincing him of this whole spiral of history.
No sane person who hasn't been
Experience
dreaming with
themselves,
us is going to believe anything we say.
Now, what about the woman and the young lady in the tower? Are we still going to try to rescue her, or are we just?
Yes, like I
We have
said,
to wait
yes.
until we're actually sleepy and go to sleep tonight.
I think we make sure the professor is safe. We go to find the sleepless tower in our dreams. If Paula doesn't kill us there, well, even if she kills us there,
Then it's
perhaps
all
we'll be able to get her out of the tower.
all measures are off then.
And then on the next day, the opening ceremonies happen, and we engage with.
We could.
Honestly, if we grab a chain of golden coins and throw it in a local lake, I'm not sure what the largest crime
it
we
has
could
to
be charged
deface-
with is.
The symbols have to be defaced, but yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't, or they have to
True.
leave this world. And if the
True.
sinkholes leave this world, as we suspect,
Well, what if you throw it in the lake and it just sinks to the bottom and now we can't get to it?
but if the sinkhole goes to another world, the bottom is another world.
Right.
There
But
were
if the sinkhole doesn't go to another world, then
Well, that's why
we're
we had
kind
to
of-
find the one that has A-beams coming out of
Hans,
it.
hop in and see if it goes.
Actually,
Swim to the
no.
bottom.
I don't think
Actually,
anybody's ever.
Why don't we just throw it-
swum?
We could just throw it into the one that has A-beams coming out of it.
Well, that's what we think it did.
Yes.
Well, what about the professor's ritual? I mean, maybe that could help us take it into the other world.
Or
No?
you destroy it utterly. Put it in a pot over a fire and it'll melt.
Yeah,
But that takes time. Like if we throw it if it's gold and we throw it into water, it goes away. If we put it in a pot and then we get knocked out and they take it out of the pot, then they've got it. Destroying
But the
a
water
coin-
doesn't destroy it unless we know it goes into the other.
Yeah,
into
so
the
it's
dreaming.
it's going
But
to be a
didn't-
gamble, but what are your
Weren't there
chances?
signs around that pool that there had been non-human life?
You know, you mentioned it. It says deface it. We could just smash it with a hammer.
Yeah, we could just. Gold is quite soft, actually.
Gold is soft. Yeah, pound out the coins to obliterate the symbols on them.
They may not be gold, so we don't know how soft or hard they are.
Well, we
But
gotta
yeah,
give it a shot.
I love your idea. Keeper, while
we
we've
could
been
try.
wandering around this town, have we seen a blacksmith shop or a farrier, someone who takes care of horses?
Yeah, sure, sure. You've seen that, and there's quite some industry.
All right.
There's a bunch of factories with like furnaces.
Get into the fish cannery
It's just
and make cans out of Ibian gold. That would be very delightful. Ibian tuna, chunk. Ibian
More
tuna.
red herrings.
Actually, let's plot. Actually,
Let's just do it.
let's do it. Let's just go plot it. Let's see how, if we go from here to the factory, how far of a fucking run would it be?
So Keeper, obviously from the factories we've seen, we've identified one that would be the best place to bring this to melt it down, right? Or destroy them.
Well, yeah, you would think that a tinnery would be
Okay,
basically
so you use the thing that smashes them.
they
okay.
smashes or they
Tin
flattens out the metal.
tin
Oh
gold's
yeah,
pretty
through
hot,
the roller.
too.
If they have vats of molten metal, just toss it in there.
Yeah.
There you go. All right,
All right, just
sounds like a plan.
Let's just make a plan of how easy
Now,
it
how
is
do
to
we
get
get
there.
the coins?
We wait till the opening ceremony.
And I guess we
Tonight-
just grab it and
Tonight
fucking
we
run.
save the princess. Tomorrow we convince the mayor.
We
Tomorrow
visit
night,
his house and I hypnotize him. I'm telling you, this is the way to do it. I
We'll
hypnotize
give it a
him.
shot, I guess.
we don't want him to
and
stop
he'll-
smoking.
He
We don't want him
lets
to
us
suddenly
into
wake
his
up.
safe.
You can't make
And-
people do what they don't want to do. Hypnotism.
Unless he doesn't
He
like
really
Yoko
wants to
already.
help us.
He wants to save his son, and he probably hates and fears Joch to some extent because he's got a stranglehold on the town. We also we'll be able to make better plans on Friday morning once we know what happens tonight in the dream.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we take a 5-minute break?
That sounds great.
So I have a thought. I feel fairly strongly that if we leave Professor Erling alone in this caravan tonight, he'll be killed.
Oh.
I suggest that either one or two of us stay in the caravan, and if, in fact, since he's set up a shooting range and he has some rifles, that we sleep with loaded rifles at our sides. Although I think if it's not him, no one will try.
The rifles for the shooting range are basically BB guns.
Pellet guns, yeah.
I will stay with the professor. He knows me best. I'll keep an eye on him.
Couldn't we ask the mayor and the police to make sure he stays safe?
Yeah, but what does that mean?
But that puts attention to him.
Yeah,
if
we
you
don't
got
want
armed
anyone.
guards.
I mean, he is officially wanted for questioning in town with a catatonic young woman under circumstances that are ill-defined. We do not want to ask the police to keep an eye on. You could stay with him, Prince, or you and I could stay in the caravan, and the professor could stay in one of our rooms in the hotel. Although maybe somebody with him is the best option.
Probably for the best.
Prince, you're his friend. You know him. You know the family.
You know Yolanta.
Yes.
You know Gudrun.
If we see you in the Dreamlands, we're going to tell you to wake up. Though you're not doing your job.
No, he has to come to the Dreamlands with us. But he's, if he disappears suddenly, we'll hope it's to fire a quick BB in the eye of a malfeasant.
And then I guess just run.
All right.
Okay.
Well, it's quite a while until Betty by. So, what are we going to do? Anything?
We're going to put the records away neatly, and make sure that we haven't missed anything in them. Although now that if only Professor Erling had not taken any part of Unersprechliche Kulten with him,
would have seen this whole time.
A much better idea what was going on. Right, so we want to clean that up.
Maybe we should requisition a car beforehand to wait for everything ready for when the festival happens.
What does Herr Yoke do? Is he just independently wealthy, or
he's currently an undertaker?
Yeah, he runs the funeral home.
He has a funeral parlor.
I wonder if there would be a way that we could get him distracted. I mean, you can murder somebody. I don't mean that, but
well, I mean, I imagine preparing children's bones out of a soup pot takes a while for burial, but I think he's probably got that covered.
Probably has people for that.
Or gnomes or demons.
Frogs.
What if we could get him arrested for stealing jewelry off of the corpses that he's supposed to be?
I think when we go back to box up the records and put things back probably in a better organized fashion than they were, we should definitely butter up the mayor. So what do you think about sending in the fiance to weep on the son? Do you think there's any chance that her tears will cure him, as in the myth?
We might give it a shot. It's better than nothing.
Or otherwise, what can we tantalize the mayor with in terms of our progress toward making his son whole again? Because we only have, he didn't like us until he was panicked.
Maybe all we have to do is plant some doubts in his mind about what's going on about Yoke, and it's something that maybe his son found out and Yoke orchestrated for his son to be taken out of the picture.
Remember, The father of his son's fiance is part of the rifle club.
I don't know. We're talking about elaborate lies and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, when we don't know the lay of the
it's a bit
land.
too short time to like conspire or create a conspiracy.
Although I wonder if there's something, von Ehrenberg knows a bit of hypnotism. And there is a fear of, untoward mental control. Can we suggest something about, well, maybe first of all, von Ehrenberg should sit with the mayor and see how suggestible he is.
See if he's just
Can he double our trust with a single session, or is he resistant? And
make him even more suspicious.
I was thinking we just plant the seed that Yoke could just never be trusted. Like he was never trustworthy to begin with.
Why is it? We're putting the papers together, and we just put out this year and that year and this year, and say every year that Yoke has won, a Yoke member has won the rifle competition, there's been a disaster. And we don't know why that is, and we're not crazy, superstitious people.
But there's also been like a string of disappearances the same years also.
A disaster. I mean, there's been public, there's
So
evidence of public
You
distress.
basically get some evidence of this disaster cycle and the crimes and everything together, and meet with the mayor in his office.
How do you feel about that? Is that too risky?
Well, I think the idea of undermining Yoke's credibility is at least a good place to start.
Right. And the Yoke family is always in competition, not only for the rifle competition, but
for mayor.
They're sometimes in charge of the city and other high offices. So what is this Yoke family up to might be a good approach for an insecure man who's not, after all, a member of the secret cabal.
So how do you, and Walter, you want to try to hypnotize him?
Well, I do. It sounds like a lot of fun. But I think we should, I think the points other people have been making about, we have enough details that we should try to convince him first. And we're trying to get the mayor to do something with Yoke so that we can get the chain. Is that right?
I think we're setting up the situation for the opening ceremonies tomorrow, that the mayor and the police will be on our side if we have to grab the chain and smash it.
They are on our side already, right?
The constabulary has been pretty iffy on us, and the mayor was against us until his son got hurt.
I think they're neutral with us right now.
We could definitely use some goodwill.
Yoke is married, but his wife is in a coma. Is that correct?
She's speechless because of a stroke.
A stroke.
Which was probably not a stroke. It was probably a terrible sacrifice he made.
What if we could get the mayor to get Yoke to come for some sort of reason, a meeting, and while that's happening, we break into his house and try.
You told me his safe was impossible.
We take the key off of him. Where is it? He wears it.
And there's a combination lock.
That would take hours.
That's why we've got to hypnotize Yoke, not the mayor.
I think he's going to be very resistant.
Sure. Yeah. So that probably won't work.
Oh, dynamite.
Yoke has a wife who can't speak and who has a stroke-like face. Do they have offspring that we know of? Were there photographs? We looked around the living room. Do they? Oh, while we're putting these records back, we should look at birth certificates for the Yoke family. Maybe they never have children. Maybe all the disappearing children go into the Yokes, or they choose a special frog baby every.
Yeah, is there a lineage or a
Well, yeah, you've found kind of a lineage, so it doesn't seem like there's always. It doesn't seem like Yoke appears every couple of years, and he is, from the looks, he's like in his 40s, and his wife seems to be a little younger, maybe early 30s.
But they don't currently have any children.
You didn't see any pictures, and
No toys or
no.
58
yeah,
years
so-
ago, it would have been his father.
would be
Grandfather?
18. So yeah, are
Could
there
be
birth
father, could
certificates?
be
What are the
Yeah.
birth records like?
Father, grandfather, great grandfather. They're there. Okay. So he's not virgin conceived out of nowhere.
Well, but
No, it's not.
who's Father Yoke and who's Father Yoke before him?
Well, let's say you found basically names of his ancestry, at least for a couple of generations.
And there are
that-
normal-ish intervals every.
Yeah, that fits.
So
Normally, it's not like one yoke is from the records, not one yoke is around for 200 years or something like that.
Right. But can we also tell that the last one to win the contest was his father, grandfather?
The last one was his grandfather.
So maybe it skips every generation. A yoke wins, then another yoke doesn't win, then a yoke wins, another one doesn't. Father, it skips by grandfathers, more or less.
Unkind of that text to not give us a sense of why the interval is what it is.
Considering it's more a person's observation that understands this process instead of knowing what
Well, maybe
actually
it's-
happened. Yeah.
Maybe it's astrological, astronomical. But how would we even come close to finding out what astronomical interval is 58 years?
It also just could be, I guess, 58 years is just a lifespan. Like sometimes could be just comparable to a standard person's lifespan.
58 years? People live older than that. That's half your life.
That or just how long it takes comparably in the Dreamlands for
But you have-
events. Mhm.
You have a person grows up 25 years old. They have a son. He grows up 25 years old. And then the next one in line is around 58 years. And
We should, yeah.
yeah, it
So-
seems natural.
So yeah, to undermine Yoch with the mayor, we say this family always wins periodically. And this year he's the chairman and he's also competing. Is it fair that the chairman is competing?
I think he's going to cheat.
He's probably gonna bribe the competition.
It's on.
Anyways, we just want to undermine. We don't know anything for sure anyway.
Yeah. Put some seeds, I guess.
Doing idea roll, Carl and Joseph.
Let's
Joseph.
see. Idea.
I rolled a 5. So that's pretty good.
Okay.
I
The thing
failed.
is, you, Joseph, you don't think that the mayor would have the authority or to change the regulations for the shooting
Right.
out of hand. But you think the idea of sowing doubt because of all those catastrophes that appear every 58 years, and the connection to his family. That's at least something you could one could use to seed doubts in his mind. But to take legal action would, even if it's possible, it would take much too long.
I'll share this with my colleagues. Perhaps
Perhaps better to plant the seed than outright make a case.
Just by planting the seed, then later on, will be, if something actually happens, it'll give us more clout.
Yeah. All right, let's do that.
So who's doing the talking with the mayor?
I think Walter's ability at hypnotism gives him an advantage on persuading somebody mentally without them even realizing that they're being hypnotized.
Okay, basically, you can try to use charm or persuade to win him over. If you want to use hypnotism without him noticing it.
No, I'll just charm him. I'd rather charm him. Let me roll. That's a hard success.
Okay. Yeah, he seems. You present basically your case. You present all those things he found at the archive, and he is getting more and more on your side. My God! So you want to say that this isn't a singular incident? You mean his family has something to do with this?
Not a Yolk's family does, for sure.
Yeah.
Not your son's fiance's family.
But what can we do to stop this?
We need to get access to that chain of office, the winning chain for the shooting competition. We need that.
But what has the chain of office to do with anything?
It's very complicated. There's some things going on in that are very challenging to explain right now, related to both this region and Harry Oak. So we really don't have time for all the explanations right now, but you have it on our authority that if we get in hold of the chain, we can stop this and save your town.
And what are you supposing to do with the chain, dude?
We'll be destroying it. If we don't, think about what is going to happen during your tenure as mayor in this little town. What you've seen so far is just the beginning.
He seems really drawn. I have to think about this.
Mr. Mayor, you don't want another catastrophe on your watch, do you?
No, of course I don't want to. But are you trying?
No.
Just the idea is hilarious.
Is the mayor up for re-election anytime soon?
Let's say 2 years.
Mr. Mayor, if you're up for re-election in 2 years, and if there's some sort of
and if
catastrophe on, it could be bad for your re-election chances.
And this might actually help your son get his sight back.
That too.
Legs, but
your son's not the only person that's been hurt by this. your entire village is and has been for hundreds of years.
I have to sleep on that. I can't decide this right now.
Herr Gruber, of course. Tomorrow is a better day. We all have to sleep, and you should check on your son. I hope his recovery is coming along well. Has the fiance been allowed to visit him yet?
No, he hasn't received a visit from her.
Again, speaking as a stranger under these strange circumstances, I can understand that what I say seems odd. But you know, the old woman Mina does not remember anything that happened or why she did it, much like your Hans Dieter's fiancée doesn't remember why or if she did something. There's a lot of nightmares and sleepwalking and strange events. The other old woman with the cats who killed herself, it's all, people are not in control of themselves right now. And I think when you think about Hans Dieter's fiancée, you should consider her an innocent victim of a larger circumstance. And seeing and her seeing your son might be healthy for him. It's worth considering, and we'll let you sleep. Thank you for letting us look at the town records. If we need something else, and we might, because we're still trying to figure things out, we'll be in touch. Is there anyone, by the way, do you have officers? I saw that there were caravans coming into the village green ahead of the festival. Or do you keep officers there?
No.
The caravan people just have to watch their own goods, I suppose.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, you know, with any luck, your son will be better soon, and the festival will go well, and it'll be a better year for the village.
So you take your leave and call it a night?
Yeah, I think we're going to call it a night.
Yeah. So Joseph is sleeping at the professor's wagon?
That's where the professor's staying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sleep there. Well, but wait, time out. So are the other guys gonna go to the dream world tonight? Is that the plan?
The plan is
Well,
we
yeah,
all
they-
are, but
Going to the
distance
tower.
shouldn't stop you. Didn't stop me when I was in jail.
Didn't stop Hans when he was at
Right.
Okay, well, but if I'm, do I need to stay awake tonight to keep an eye on the
That's why I think we should have a police officer watching, because we need you in the dreaming.
I think if you guys are both inside the caravan, then you'll get woken up if somebody comes in.
And that'll like
I mean-
snap me out of the dream world.
We were woken up by the mayor this morning. Somebody
All right,
pounded
good
on the
point.
door.
You're still sleeping like you are normally sleeping.
Okay, I will sleep in the in the trailer wagon with near the professor.
All right, let's get going then.
And you give the do you give the professor any instructions?
Wake me if you're assaulted.
Anything
Keep
happens.
a loaded air rifle or two handy.
Don't let anyone in.
We have real guns.
Yeah, we do.
I have my sword,
I don't.
my sword king.
So you tell him to wake you if there's anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wish I had a gun prop.
Daniel,
Let's go dream.
rejoin in in Ilarnik in the Dreamlands.
Yes.
And you're standing not in the bustling metropole you remember from last time, but in a rather shabby part of the town. You can see that it is the same town. It's the same architecture. There are a couple of people, but not nearly as many.
Good.
We are looking
guess we're in
for
the
a
slums.
tower. A tower in a garden, was it?
The tower in
Yeah.
a ruined garden in the north of the city. And I think we found that the cardinal directions worked the same way we are used to.
And as you you take a few steps, you look around the streets you're in, and there's a man sitting on an old keg. He looks kind of funny. His hair is matted, is like very flat on the side and tied together in a tiny ponytail on his back. He's wearing a strange green vest. And he's smiling at you. So you finally decided to make the appointment.
The appointment?
Well, didn't we make an appointment this morning?
Am I
You asked me
forgetting
to meet
something?
you.
Oh, right. Hello, doctor.
And he starts
Ah, yes,
So I see my disguise still works.
yes.
We never would have seen you.
So what are you planning?
Going to
We
the
want
tower.
to find, yeah, we want to find the tower in the garden, the sleepless tower, and
We're gonna
rescue the
rescue
girl.
rescue the damsel in distress.
Well, let's hope that we can do that.
Do you know where it is?
I think it's this way.
We're gonna need some rope, but we'll see.
And he leads you further into this decrepit part of town. And in actuality, you find an old an old wall with an old rusted gate. You see brambles behind it, and it looks very familiar to Daniel and Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that that there is a black tower with the behind this the walls of this whatever it once was. There is a sign that says that it's a cemetery.
Mm.
It's old and rusted, and
Is the gate openable?
you open the gate and it creaks loudly. With the first move, you just touch it and move it a little bit, and it moves, but it's.
Do we think we need a watch, or should we just forge in? I'm dressed more clerically, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And less
Yeah.
militaristically. I'm gonna like take a bit of the cord that holds the hood around and
Mhm.
just put it in my teeth, because I'm gonna push my way through the thorns without trying to stop them from tearing me. I feel like it's better to make haste and be torn up in dream than it is to waste time trying to cut dream.
But I think you're right that somebody needs to watch. I'll stay here and watch and call
Okay.
out if something comes.
I'll keep guard.
All you need
Yeah.
to do is get the girl and get her out of the building.
Let's go.
Perhaps we need to find her at least and find out what can be done.
How big of a tower is it?
Well, it seems pretty big.
Like 3 stories, like 25 stories, or
Well, more like 5 to 8 stories, something like that.
Does it look like the tower? Didn't we see a tower in our dreams on the
Yeah.
train?
Yes.
Does it look the same?
Yes.
Looks exactly
Exactly
like
the
that.
same.
It's
Okay.
And
made from this strange black basalt.
Right. Okay.
I didn't
Oh.
see it. So
it was just Joseph and I. On that occasion, we both fell into the thorns, right?
Yeah, you tried to climb it using the hair that was hanging down. So Henning is waiting at the entrance, and the rest is moving towards
I
the
will-
tower.
I'll draw my sword and head towards the
Yeah,
tower.
you cut some of the brambles down, and it's basically no problem to get towards the tower. The Dr. Lehman is hanging behind you. You notice that he's much more relaxed here, like he's feeling right at home. And you get to the base of the tower. There is an entrance. It's a black door, but you don't. Before you ask, there's no hair hanging down from the tower.
Dr. Lehman, is there a trick for opening doors in the dream?
Well, you might use the handle.
All right, let's try.
with a thunk it.
Does it open if I press?
You open you press the handle, and yes, you can open the door.
Inside, light, dark,
Inside,
sudden fireball.
It's pretty gloomy. You're just walking in. You're just opening the door,
I'll take the lead and I'll go in.
or you.
Can we dream a torch into existence?
You can try.
Mr. Von Arenberg, do that trick you did where you summoned try to get a torch.
Oh, I'll try that.
Damn.
I got a 50. I get burned 38 luck, but
Might want to use that for something else.
You want some? You want some light? Okay, I can help you with that. And he manifests a lantern. I might not be of any use if it comes to violence, but something like that.
You got to teach me that, Professor. I got this little horse, and I want a big horse.
That we can talk about later.
Let's go in. Let's find this girl.
I'll put the lantern in my other hand and hold my sword in the other and just lead up the tower.
Yep, let's go up the tower.
So you open the door, and the first thing you notice is this awful stench of fish and decay that wafts towards you. And you shine the lamp inside the door opening, and you see a shape that just hushes away from you out of the light.
We're at the top now.
No, you're down at the bottom.
Oh,
in the base.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
There seems to be something like a muddy pool in the middle of the lake. In the middle of the tower. The room is something like 5 meters across.
And there's like
more
a
8.
spiral staircase going up. Is that along the walls?
In the shine of your lantern, yeah, there seems to be a staircase.
And there's like some sort of pool or puddle in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
And we saw some
Takes
shape.
up most of the floor.
And we saw some shape move when we came in.
Yeah, just hushed out of your view.
I'll keep watching the pool. You guys go past me and up the stairs, and I'll back up with you guys. So you just walk past.
So you step into the room.
Yes.
I do.
Okay, so the two of you are the first ones. What are your dexterity scores?
That's not good.
Mine's 85.
65.
So, as you step inside, you hear a hissing from both sides of the room, and these creatures jump at you. They have these lizard faces, clawed hands, and they try to strike you. But as you're said you're prepared, you go first with Dex.
Yes. I guess it's a leap it better to like try to stab one.
You attack?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, there's one going towards each of you.
All right. I'll fighting brawl.
Yep. No. What are you using? The
sword.
The sword. Yeah. If you have fencing, you can use that. Otherwise, it's fighting brawl.
Okay. All right. That is. I'm gonna spend 2 points to make that a hard.
Okay. He's trying to do a counterattack, but only got a regular success. So, what does a sword do? 1d6 plus damage bonus.
Okay. 4 damage.
Okay. And Joseph, for you, it's basically the same.
I guess I'll attack with my sword.
Okay.
And I got a hard success.
The thing does a counterattack as well and has only a regular success.
Is it only on extremes we do max damage? Forget if like it changes on a hard.
No, extreme.
Okay, only extreme. Okay.
So same for you, 1d6 plus damage bonus.
Yeah, so my damage bonus is 0, so crap, 1 damage. I nicked him.
Yeah, just run past us. We'll deal with them.
So both of them are doing their own attacks on you. You want to?
Do I hear any of this commotion from outside?
Yeah, sure. You're a bit away. Not yet. The other two, of course, they see that they're that the ones in front of them are attacked. That is, what are you doing? Counterattack or dodge?
I'll dodge.
Dodge.
Okay, do.
Let's see. Big fail.
I
Okay.
think that would be normal success.
So
So Daniel dodges and where is it? D6 plus 2. The one in front of Joseph just rips into your chest with his claws for 5 points of damage.
good lord. So based on our current understanding,
Mhm.
if we die in the dream, we would wake up and then not be able to come back.
Yes.
Is that what we've established?
That's what we think.
What you understood by now.
All right, I'll take 5.
The rest of you just run. We'll deal with them.
Is that a serious injury for you?
What's the threshold for serious? Like halfway?
Half.
I started at 12, I'm now at 7, so
Okay.
next one would be serious.
No, it's just if you take it in one go.
Oh, no.
So what is every then that's a new round. The other ones could act as well. The things are
Do I
snarling
have
at you.
Do I have a weapon or anything? I don't remember.
Yeah,
what.
you have a sword.
Can you hypnotize?
Yeah. Doesn't work across species.
Or in the middle of combat.
You run
We
up
also
to
have
them
the-
and you rub them right here on their forehead.
We also have the jars. We also have the bottled silence, but I don't think that helps us right now.
It
No,
might have helped
yeah.
before.
I now understand. Yes, I now understand.
We
Yeah,
could,
we put silence on
yes,
it. Okay,
of
I see.
course.
I was expecting to
That
throw them
would
at
have been
wizards.
smart.
I was expecting to throw them at
Right.
like wizards or something.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'll rush in and try to help. Yeah. I guess all I can do is rush in and swing at him with my sword. My dex is 50, just to put me in place.
So we have Walter with 50. Joseph, tell me again what you got.
65.
And Daniel.
85.
And Hans, what was your dex?
I'm 70.
70.
Yeah.
So the
Younger guys move faster than the older guys.
Well, Walter has a leg injury.
I'm at 52.
Actually, not here. I don't.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Does my
Okay,
dex
so
go up
Daniel-
because of that?
Huh? Daniel.
I don't
is-
have a leg injury here, so does my dex go
Oh
up?
yeah, we said you did. You didn't. So
How much
Fine.
penalty is it?
Sure.
Never, it doesn't matter. We'll just
Okay.
stick with it.
yeah, let's stick with it. Daniel, you're up first.
I'm gonna keep
You have
attacking
this
this
thing in front of you.
I'm kind of wondering if we should probably like toss the silence now to prevent alerting the rest of the tower, but we'll see. But
Well,
right now, I'm just gonna attack.
If you want.
I'm gonna suggest the idea as
You-
I'm fighting for my life.
You're attacking.
Yes.
He's trying counterattack again. With the 51, it's
Huh.
No good.
Right, that's a 22. That's just a hard.
Okay, do damage.
Two damage. I can't roll one a d6 all.
Okay.
I guess that would just be fine. What do you think?
Hans, it's your turn.
So I came here dressed as a cleric. I wasn't
You don't
chosen.
really have a weapon.
Yeah, I wondered if I had a small dagger or not, but I didn't think much. I'm just going upstairs and letting them deal with this.
So
now.
you're
I
running
think you also have
toward-
some of the silence of you.
I think we distributed the silence, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so keep careful.
But I don't have a blade or anything. So I'm not
Go upstairs.
planning to go into the fight. I'm planning to find the princess and see what I can do. I don't think I'm going to smash any silence to go up the stairs, though. I'm probably wearing, if shoes at all, something leather on stone, and there's a battle going on. So I'm just running upstairs.
Okay. Then it's Joseph.
I will attack.
Okay.
That is a hard success.
Okay. And only normal for the counterattack, so you can do damage.
4.
So that's 4 points. The thing you cut it with your sword again. The first one was just a little nick. Now you have gotten it better into its shoulder. It screams in pain. And Walter.
Foul beast.
Walter, your turn.
Oh, sorry. I thought Joseph was trying to say something. Yeah, I'm going to release the silence.
Okay. Carl, do a luck roll. Do a luck and a combined listen.
Okay.
So
Luck, I passed. Listen, I got a 67, which is
just the one roll for and compared to both.
oh yeah, I did not pass the listen. Maybe because somebody just silenced everything and I don't hear a damn thing. They're screaming in agony, and I'm like, well.
Yeah, everything around you goes completely silent. The two Ibians.
You know that means something.
You do know that means something, though.
The two Ibians attack again. The first one on Daniel. What do you want to do?
I will dodge.
You dodge? Do?
Sorry, me.
I just got an extreme dodge.
Excellent. So the other one on Joseph, what do you do?
I'll dodge.
Okay.
And I got a success.
Regular or
Regular success.
he has a hard. But only does 2 points of damage. Just a small nick. So back to top of the round. Daniel.
All right.
You've driven the thing towards that pond. So it's basically with the back against the water or the mud.
Well, I'm just gonna keep fighting because right now it's just to keep them busy for Hans to get up the tower.
Okay. Attack.
I'm gonna spend 2 points on luck to succeed.
Okay. This counterattack is a failure, so you can do damage.
That would be 4 points.
Okay. He's pretty cut up. Next is Hans. You run up the stairs.
Yeah,
The stairs go pretty far.
Mhm.
And as you
Did they
run,
get tighter and tighter as they go up?
not really. The tower doesn't really
Hmm.
isn't really conical. You keep on running?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be aware of cries or smashes or noises or gargoyles
You
or
don't
something.
hear anything.
Yeah, I hear grunts and fighting from far below. No, I'm just like slapping my
No.
feet up the stairs. I'm
You don't even
trusting.
hear your feet on the stairs.
Oh, not even those.
All silent.
Did somebody
So-
break one?
Yeah,
With the-
Walter broke one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm just
No,
yeah.
you didn't see it. Joseph, what do you do?
I'll attack,
Okay.
and that's a success.
And he's a failure, so you can do damage again.
6.
And with that, you basically after dodging his last swipe, you ram your blade through the bottom of his head, and it comes out on the back side
Oh, good lord.
and slides down from your blade.
Ah.
So this one is gone. So that leaves Walter. No, Walter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just shove the one that Daniel's fighting into the pond.
Okay. Do fighting brawl. Yeah. This
38. I'm gonna spend 13 luck to do it.
Okay, so you push it over and it falls into the lake.
I hope that doesn't send it back over into the not dreaming.
Can you even hear your own voice right now?
Daniel, your turn. Walter just bolted into the one Ibian you were fighting, and it fell into the pond. But it's still it's just like
On its back in the water.
It doesn't sink in. It's just seems to be shallow, but it's on its back.
I'm just gonna try to coup de grace it then. I'm just gonna try to like stab downward.
Okay. Tries to dodge. Disadvantage.
I rolled just a success. Like just barely.
So that's 44 for dodge. Nope. You hit?
Two points. I've not rolled well with a D6 ever. Really to.
Okay. That is Hans next.
How does the
Daniel.
tower come in?
You're about halfway up.
Well, hopefully I'm running in the sort of bounding dream way and not the tarry dream way.
Okay. So you run further. Joseph?
So the second one got pushed into the.
Yeah. They are basically Walter and Daniel between him and you. You would have to get into to that pond if you want to reach it.
No, I'm gonna follow Hans up the stairs.
Okay, you run up.
Yep.
And Walter.
I guess I'll stab.
Okay.
Never used a sword before. This is fun. I got a 0-4.
Okay. That should be an extreme, so that's max damage plus
Plus a D6, I guess. Or your damage bonus if you have one.
So 6 plus D6.
I don't have a damage bonus. I rolled a 4 on a D6.
So that's 10 points. And reaching down, the lizard thing in front of you goes limp, and it's silent already, because all's silent here.
Start running.
I'm really not sure how to feel after killing a living thing like this, but oh well. It's in the dream.
It tried to. I would explain, but I don't think you could hear me say words, so it's like.
So Hans,
yeah, I'm gonna make like signals to say we should go get Carl.
I'll run out to get him.
okay.
I'm playing with the gate. I'm going like this, and nothing is making any noise.
I'm whistling.
No, you can hear every other. The gate is making noise. As soon as you step out of the tower, you can hear your footfalls again.
Henning, get over here. Problem. Actually, no. We need to start moving.
Yeah, you have to shout, but you hear
I
him.
probably should just get closer for like not.
You don't want me to keep watch? All right.
There were Ibians at the bottom of the tower. We have to get up and make.
All right. I come with him.
So
We gotta go.
Once you get to the top of the stairs, and there's like a small door with a latch on the bottom, and there are bars that bolts, one on the bottom and one on the top that keep it shut. But doesn't seem to be a lock.
Knock knock.
You don't hear anything.
Ana Rosa.
You realize that you can hear
Still-
yourself again.
I can hear myself. I can hear the door knock, but I don't hear an
Yeah.
answer.
You don't hear an answer.
Ana Rosa, are you sick?
Do a listen roll.
$59. That's not good, I think. Oh, I'll spend 9.
Okay. You hear something like feet, like as if someone is walking barefoot on stone.
Someone
Barefoot.
barefoot, someone like a lovely Brunhilde, or someone like a terrible swamp creature.
Well, it doesn't do any clicking sounds or anything, so it doesn't sound like claws.
Also, I'll step a little away from the door and ask Ana Rosa, do you understand me? Do you remember Herr Erling?
What do you want from me now?
I want to take you home. I want to take you back to the waking world. It's over. The nightmare is over.
Who are you? Are you one of them?
No,
Are you
we're
bad-
hiding from them. I know Erling from the waking world. We're escaping. We've come to save you. Your family is worried for you in your village. They watch you, unable to wake.
Roll a persuade or charm.
Have I reached the top yet?
Yeah, you're with him.
Okay.
The other ones, if you want, you can come up as well.
Regular charm.
Okay. Then let me out.
Yeah, can you not open the door from that side?
No, I'm trapped here.
Slouched in.
There are bolts on the outside.
Oh yeah, pop.
So you
And
open
I'll
the door.
step back and press a little bit so as not to have any like sudden.
The door opens with a creak. No movement behind it.
Ana Rosa.
Show yourself.
Oh, right.
The voice is coming from the right side of the door.
Ready, Joseph? And I go. Hi, we're from the Waking Land.
And you see the same blonde girl that you saw in coma, lying on her bed, but now she's standing next to the door. She's wearing like a blue dress, which seems to be quite dirty. Seems to that she's slept in it, and she's holding something that looks like a chamber pot or something over her head, ready to swing. You're not one of them.
Hello.
Oh my God.
We're mostly from Berlin.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
Prince
there's more of
Joseph.
us.
Please help me.
I'm
Right.
Prince Joseph. I'm here to rescue
These
you.
things have kept me here for days.
Yeah, it's been longer than you think. If you need help down the stairs, we can help you. This is Prince Joseph. It's a long story.
We need to get her out of the building. This
Yes.
building apparently keeps you from waking up. We want to get you outside and let you wake up.
Your parents are very anxious, and your neighbors, Mother and Father Goose.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Let's just go.
So you
Time's
bring
of the
her,
essence.
you bring her out, and basically, as she crosses the threshold of the tower, she disappears.
Perfect.
All right.
Woken
We
up.
should maybe wake up ourselves now.
Woohoo!
Let's get
Or
out of
do
here.
we go downtown while we're asleep and see what there is to be seen? Oh, the professor is with us.
Yeah.
Probably waiting outside.
I'm afraid at
Professor?
this point we might be able to be recognized here.
I mean, we killed any of the witnesses,
what-
but yeah.
You killed two of these things.
I didn't want to, but I had to.
We actually killed a few more of them. Just not recently. Do you know who what's her name? Paaka is?
He explained it to us earlier.
Yeah, I think he told you that he thinks he
Oh, he thinks that's Paaka.
he
Right.
thinks
Sorry.
that Flash is Parker.
Yeah. Right. So, do you think our work is done here? We can try to wake.
Tomorrow is the festival. Or tomorrow's only fucking Friday.
Well, the
It's the opening ceremony.
ceremonies are tonight.
With the chain.
Is there anything else here to find? Is the question.
Do we bother?
If I were you, I wouldn't spend too much time on this side of the wake of the dream.
They already
Yeah,
know
let's
that we
wake up.
know.
Let's wake up.
Yeah, we need to wake up, or at least not be in this part of Larnac.
Very well. We've done what we were told we had to do by the cobblers.
So your problem is you don't know how to wake up.
Oh yeah,
We've never
Professor,
done
can
it
you teach us
before.
how to force ourselves to wake up?
Be like, Daniel.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Who's gonna get? Somebody needs to
Hey,
get
before we
killed,
do that,
and then can wake up the rest of us.
Prinz was mauled by the one of those Ibians and didn't wake up, so I don't think that will work.
So
We can kill
Well,
Joseph the rest of the way.
Yeah, but that's not hopeful.
we can kill
Well,
ourselves.
he'll wake up.
I want
Should
to
I-
dream again.
should I get?
I'd
you-
like to dream again.
Should I wake you up in the world?
Yes, actually. You are hiding in our rooms. You can do that easily.
Okay, so he disappears. And after a couple of minutes, one after the other, aside from Joseph, waking up. So let's quicken this a little bit because of time. I guess someone runs to the festival ground and wakes Joseph.
Yeah.
I'm still tired from the tower. I'll send Daniel.
Hey, I need
The
to
other youth.
I'm only 30. I think you're younger than me.
I'll go.
Yeah, go.
So I run and wake him up. Is the professor okay?
Yeah, he's okay. He's he's sitting in a corner next to Joseph and clutching a knife.
I will tell him that we've rescued the maiden. She's probably waking up where she is.
Oh God. Good God.
Now we have to take care of this other problem.
So how are you planning to do that?
So, in my mind, I think we need to at least have a generally good idea of a route if we're gonna grab the things and literally just start fucking running, or I guess some other means of travel. Just to let's see, how far away is like that tinnery?
If the festival opens and the coins are on display, we don't know whether they'll be on display or not. But if they are on display, then we might just wait for the opportunity to steal them.
And just run. Maybe like requisition a car so we can be a bit fast about it.
Or Walter can hypnotize everybody in the crowd.
Professor Lyman has lived here for many years. What does the opening ceremony look like?
Yeah.
Well, there's a parade, and at the end, the Yoke will present the chain of office. It will be on a stage. He will show it around and then put that back into its box until it's the shootout on the next day.
What if we just accost him on the way before the parade?
It's possible.
Where does the box live between his presentation and the next day?
In the safe.
I think it's brought back to the safe.
He takes it back home. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, it's likely.
Yeah, I think we either have to accost him physically on the way or in his house, or we're out of luck. I can't think of anything else we can do.
Why don't we get up in the morning, hang out near his house, and when we suspect that he has got the box and is about to walk out the door, we
tackle him, take the box, and run.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to why you think it makes sense to do it before the ceremony, as if we're not going to be caught with equal alacrity. We're a handful of strangers in town the police are already angry at. Historically, I mean, we're currently mayor friendly, but I think an assault and robbery.
I think there'll be far less security at the even if it's on display at the fair. There will be guards around, people.
They'll try to tackle us and like restrain us,
but not likely when he's coming out his front door at 7:30
I return to the question of what we use to destroy it, and the proximity, and specifically the temporal proximity between grabbing the thing and ruining it.
Yeah,
that's what I want to make the shortest thing.
I want to make a route. Like, how far is a route between that point in his house in the village to the factory?
If he lived with a tin shop, I'd be all on your side. But I think
depends on where you want to bring it. If you want to bring it to the nearest bigger tin factory, on foot you would take running. You would take like 10 minutes at least.
Not that bad.
Well, there are cars in town.
Yeah, we could requisition a car. Yeah, we could just go. Can we rent one?
What's the closest sinkhole to the green in which the festival takes place?
There would be the reticle.
Oh yeah,
that's like running 4 minutes, maybe.
That's still enough time to get shot in.
Well, the thing is
much closer.
There's a chance that throwing it in the sinkhole won't do anything.
It won't be open.
There's no chance if we throw it into a bunch of molten metal that it'll survive.
But you said yourself, Carl, that we need to think like fairy tales.
They're not unreliable. We don't know if they're going to work or not. The metal will work. The boiling, the molten metal will work. Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to take it to the canning factory. That's it. We're going to do that. How do we get it?
Let's get a car ready.
We can do decoys. We all run in different directions. And only one of us actually has the metal. They won't
We
know who to
can-
follow.
It's early on Friday. We can take all the tin can lids from the garbage and paint them gold and link them together, and every one of us will be able to run down the street
Actually-
carrying.
Let's just take a shot and do something.
Let's do it. Actually, let's do it. Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna grab a car,
Let's,
I guess.
let's do it.
Yeah.
When's the best time to do it, Keeper? Right now or tomorrow morning?
Remember, Yoch is paranoid. He has a double
Yeah.
lock. So I think when we do it in public. He holds it up, and that's when he's denounced. Maybe one of us pushes him down, and then it runs away. Right? It's all
Then-
one big event.
What if there are
That's-
5 policemen there? And
Well,
when
we
assault him,
are on
they-
good friends. We are on good terms with the mayor. That's why we did that.
What if they all pull out their guns from the gun festival and start shooting at us?
I
They're
feel like
BBs.
there has to be a solution that we can't get, that we're missing something. Professor, is there
Either
any
we
ideas
succeed
for
or we
when
fail.
when would be the best time?
I have absolutely no idea.
No idea.
That's fair.
We just rob him at gunpoint. Tell him to open up the fucking safe.
Actually, I have an idea. I'll dress up as someone else. So like they at least won't recognize it's me. Let's do it. Like you guys will be around. I'll toss the thing to you, and then like chase me. You go to the cannery or you go to the tinnery.
Yeah, the Bugs Bunny solution is out of the question.
Yeah.
Who?
The Hexenhaza. It's a long story.
That's awesome.
I mean, I think maybe we have all day before he brings it out. I think if you hold him at gunpoint and say I'll shoot you in the face if you don't give it to me, he'll say shoot me in the face, because the Yoch he has no offspring. The Yoch family has been doing this for 500 years. There's stuff we don't know about the Yoch lineage. I don't think he's going to be afraid. I don't think he's going to open his safe.
Well, my original idea is to wait until he takes it out of the safe,
Yeah.
and then attack him.
That's what I was thinking of doing. We
But
take it,
not
we just leave his
not when
house.
he gets all the way in public where there's policemen all
We
around.
leave
We're
him
doing
just-
it at
like,
his
what is
front
he-
door.
Yeah.
Front door.
When he opens
Okay.
the door. There we are.
And if he doesn't care about
Nobody's
his
gonna
life,
be
he cares about his
standing
wife's
around.
life.
Professor Lehmann will know. Erling will not. Is there a procession of the chain
Parade.
of command?
A parade, he said.
There's a parade in the
How do they do it? How does it leave the president's home and go to the?
I don't really know. I think they bring it there. I think the York waits for the parade to arrive at the festival ground. They
And
must
then
be
he-
there at some point.
Pick a plan.
Let's do it.
Brief question: who here is actually good at driving?
What drive?
I'm
you
pretty good.
Not a
35.
horse.
I have base, so I don't. Yeah.
I've got base.
I've got 35.
So Carl's the driver.
You get a car ready. I'll get the necklace. I'll hop into you when we leave. We get to the.
I'll go ask the mayor if we can borrow his car.
Or just a car.
Do you want to let him in on the plan?
I don't know if we should.
No, I'm just going to tell him I'm going to borrow the car for a little while. I need a car.
Or do 3 of us go into town, make noise, while 2 of us break into his house and knock him on the head as soon as he's opened up the safe, and then make a run for it? I don't.
You tell me what you're doing. So, Walter, you go to the mayor first.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he has slept at all this night. Okay, what can I do to help you?
I need to borrow a car.
A car.
Yep.
It shouldn't be a problem.
Great. I also have a question for you about how the chain makes its way to the fairgrounds.
Well, York and some of the brings it with together with some of the rifle club members, like they're basically like a guard of honor.
Okay, what time do they meet there?
Well, York should be there at the festival ground latest 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
So sometime before then they meet him at his house.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the car.
I didn't consider that maybe they all get together at his place before he takes it out of the safe and then accompany him.
Guard of honor, honor guard. Let's make a procession.
Can we just pick up the safe?
It's built into his wall. It's probably a brick wall.
Okay. I'm trying to think out of the box.
How
And if only-
how far from Yoke's house is it to his destination? Can we offer to give him a drive?
To the festival ground.
Yeah.
That's basically one street down.
Yeah, and they're not driving. They're wearing banners and regalia. It's
Exactly.
not going to
So
be.
what if we? I guess the weird bit is what if we just try to ask to see it again, and what he does, we just take it and fucking leave.
He's paranoid.
Yeah, but we might as well push it.
What excuse would you give him?
I think someone.
We
just really want to see it again. Yeah,
We'd literally tear it off his person
Yeah.
and throw it into the hottest thing we can find, or a pit that leaves the world. Because the important part is saying the enchantment that brings the Sandman.
Mhm.
As soon as the Sandman comes, we don't have to worry as much about
Yoke.
smaller details.
Actually, York hasn't met all of us, I think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Were we all there at the? Didn't we? Wasn't it just a select few of us when we had the?
Yeah.
talk?
I know Carl was there.
I think I was there.
Well, we could go with surprise. Whoever hasn't been there could be up on the stage, just as a spectator or whatever. Leap up, grab it out of his hand when he shows it, and then run like a rabbit. Maybe even relay it. Run to one of us who grabs it, and then runs to somebody else who grabs
And
it.
we go in the car and then
We
leave.
gotta get it into the car then, yeah. And go.
Once we get it to a car, they're done. They're going to be chasing on horseback and firing rifles mostly in the air. We've seen the constabulary response in this town. Oh,
Well,
a child's been shot? We'll be there in 5 minutes. So yes, we post Walter in the car. I'm not sure that if
Carl's a better driver than me.
You put Carl in the car.
Carl's probably better at a
I'll
lot
try
of
to
things
grab
than
it,
me.
But yeah.
We could leave him a pie on his doorstep laced with poison so that he dies in the middle of the night. Can't win.
I mean, it's like the early night right now. It's early day.
Yeah, the two of us approach Joch on stage with ribbons or documents or something. We get the mayor to sign off. Between the two of us, one of us will get the chain off his neck. And then we get it over the fence to the car, and the car goes to the tin foundry, and the chain goes into 600-degree tin and becomes a fluid within seconds. And
Gold
then
doesn't
we
melt
chant.
until it gets to about 2,500 degrees.
Probably enough though.
I think tin is, I was making a number up. I
Oh,
think tin actually cooks very hot because it's an alloy. It has to be.
I think we put it in the rollers. Just get it squished. That'll squish anything.
Well, I don't know they're going to be running either the furnace or the machinery on the festival evening.
But maybe the
Go
morning.
talk to your friend, the son of the cannery owner. Find out.
God, we're such ditherers. No wonder
Yeah.
the Earth is doomed.
Tin is actually isn't even 500 degrees. You could melt it in your home oven.
The rollers then
Not
still.
my oven.
Yeah.
But is anything operating on Friday night?
We could all grab parts of it, tear it apart, and run in different directions.
It's back to the lake. Why? What is wrong with bringing the pit that the goddamn creatures came out of? Every 58 years, a new sinkhole opens up.
What are we throwing in the new sinkhole?
New sinkhole. Well, because it won't open up till after you'll
You're
win.
fucking, yeah, right. Yeah. Fuck.
But the last sinkhole is right over there.
Hans, do an idea roll.
Okay. Oh no. Well, fingers crossed. I'm pretty clever. Oh, I rolled an 06, so every idea is mine.
Oh, wait.
That's an extreme.
I love we're at this point.
You do like this. You remember when you were looking through the archive, there was something about the reticle. You
Sinkhole.
you flip through your notes and find and this is what you find.
Excerpt from Marion's topography of the Duchies of Brunswick and Lüneburg, 1654. Now, however, it is such that the town of Seehusen is named after a lake, or sea, it was called in former times, situated there, the depth of which is almost unfathomable. In 1636, the noble prince and Duke of Brunswick of blessed memory, in order to find out the nature of the lake, because there had been a lot of speculation about it, wanted to have it dug out and set dry. But after the water had drained away many a day and night, and yet no bottom had been found, a whole row of houses at the bottom of the St. Vitus Gate followed in the sinking, whereupon it was felt that the foundation of the place must be above a subterranean body of water. Thus the sea was allowed to fill up again without any questions answered, and sometimes large fish of dull and terrible coloring still emerge from the depths, but they soon sink back into the dark abyss.
Which one is this?
That's the sinkhole in which near which the professor and lady were found.
All right, you're right. Let's do it then.
I think it's easier to sink gold than it is to smash it or melt it.
Fair.
Much as I love the tin can, because that was really fun.
It makes it.
But it's like over a fence and into a deep hole from which it will never emerge and go to another world. Because that's, I mean, weeks ago, by which I mean 16 hours ago, we were sure that sinkhole led to another world.
And we know which one this is about, right?
Yeah.
Pascal?
Yeah, that's
yeah, okay.
was talking
So
about the reticle.
we know
How
where it
close
is.
that?
All right, just gonna grab it now.
It's super close. Like that, you know, these are all downtown things. The fence around that swimming hole is not far from the poisoned child or the
So how are we
Village
going
Green.
to obtain the necklace?
brute violence.
I could try to, I guess, break into the safe. It might just take me a few hours, which is something we have. But
You have locksmith?
yeah,
Hey.
I have a kit and a few things.
Could we guess that? Is it still nighttime or is it?
We've
It's
woken
early
on
morning.
the-
Early
we've-
morning.
Yeah, you have time to plan.
So I was just thinking, if he's still in the dreaming, we could break into the house but maybe that doesn't matter.
We have to open the safe. How do we open the safe?
Yeah, I don't know.
We need him to open the safe. So we've got a window, the window from when he takes it out of the safe to when he wins the match, the shooting.
And we can't all hide in his house.
No, we can hide around it though.
Sit up on the roof and put a bullet through his head so that he can't win. I mean, it works.
We don't know if he has offspring, though. The Yoch, the Yoch lineage is uncertain. Maybe a Yoch would still win.
I think we should just go and
Somehow.
try something now.
Did I actually see the safe?
Yes.
You did.
did.
You saw him lock it and spin a dial. It's a very advanced safe. It was quite specifically pointed out that it would be hard to break. And you expressed that to us when you returned. Like he showed off to you that he could hand it to you and take it away and put it away and make it very safe. He's a sick and awful creature in at least two worlds. I think that when he presents it to the parade, the mayor what can the mayor do? Can the mayor say, oh, it's the honor guard this year has an extra member, and he passes the chain around to young Daniel, who's got a double sash and all the epaulets from the town hall.
These people in this town know each other.
It wouldn't
We
work.
could post a stranger as somebody. I think it's got to be assault.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to have a contingency plan. If we wait in front of his place for him to take it out of the safe and come out, we attack. If he has a bunch of people with him, then we have to do something else. We'll run up onto the stage and grab it.
Yeah, we'll have to
Run
attack
up there
anyway.
naked.
The thing to
It'll be a
do,
complete distraction. But everybody will be going like, "Oh!"
what we do is we win the shooting contest.
We can't. They won't let it. You have to be you have to be a citizen of the town.
Yeah, we can't even.
Yeah, they won't let us even enter.
Well, the mayor is a citizen. We have people who could be earning it.
Since he's won every time, every 58 years, then
We have to cheat it, of course. We have to screw
that
up
might
all
be
the
what he's
rifles.
doing.
He reliably has.
I mean,
So
I think when a member told us that, like, they just kind of let certain people win by being who's going to foot the bill for the after party.
But it's a setup. But we set up the setup, and then we don't have to fight him for it. We have it in hand, and then we only have to go a matter of 1,000 yards to get it into the water, and then we say the right thing.
And then we
Or-
take the
or we
professor and
just-
leave.
Well, once the Sandman comes,
We don't know what the
Hopefully.
Sandman's going to do either.
more than we can.
What if he kills everybody in the town, including
Well-
us?
Then it would be less cruel than making old women murder and eat children.
Well, then it would be certainly advisable to murder the man who's going to cause all this to happen. So, if we're not worried about everybody dying, then we might as well just murder the guy.
Well,
If that's
I
what you
assume
prefer.
you stake out the
Yes.
perimeters over the day.
Mhm.
So these discussions take basically more or less a couple of sessions. One thing you notice while you're around town is there are an awful lot of couples on the streets, and the male part, they all look kind of like the same. They're handsome, blonde, tall guys, like a Prince Charming type. And a couple of times you see that other young men are getting into fights with these blonde guys,
Oh, okay.
and they seem to be pretty brutal. And what you notice is the young women who are with them are always giggling and laughing and seem to be enjoying their time, but you never hear them actually say anything.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Are the blonde men all, do they all physically look, do they look like clones?
They look very similar,
Like they're all brothers.
at least like twin brothers.
They're,
But somehow nobody seems to take notice of this.
Looks like the Ibians are here.
it's an illusion of some sort.
They might have memorized the ladies.
Well, I'm ready to murder everybody. But
Let's see how Yoke's doing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Who can we convince the mayor to take the crown this year, or does he know that it's effects?
Well, I can try.
Yeah. You know, Yoch is going to cheat again this year. Yes.
Well, I don't know if I can do anything against it then. I could try to win it, but I don't know if I'll be able to.
Are any of us really crack shots? Keeper?
we
Do we have
can't
a-
we can't compete. We're not in the club.
I mean, given that the townsfolk haven't noticed that all the Prince Charmings have just shown up from Magic Land, and we might be able to get to sneak in.
I'm
If
average.
anybody was such a great shot that they could turn the tide, I don't even know how to. I don't know what end to point. So if that's not the case, then we cheer on the underdog and watch where the chain goes, and then we grab the chain and
look for an opportunity and take it when we get it. I'm going to stake out the place. I'm going to be near his front door when he comes out, and I will abort my mission if he's with a whole bunch of people.
I'll be there nearby as well.
I'm going to be in the car nearby.
I'm going to check on the professor.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll watch the fair. I'm gonna try to figure out how they work this thing. I might look for some paraffin, a paraffin lamp to sort of keep on hand in case a little random violence will
Yeah, no
turn
problem.
the tide.
Well, in the late afternoon, you hear the
Is there a window to his office?
Yeah, sure. There's a window.
I'll be trying to hide outside that window because just to see it, like to hear or vaguely see when he's taking it out.
Professor is basically he's playing his role in the in his shooting booth.
In his shooting booth? What does that mean? Like people are shooting
Professor's
Yeah.
in his caravan.
Yeah,
caravan?
His target shooting gallery.
shooting
Yeah.
gallery. Yeah, exactly.
It's like a carnival game.
So it's like a carnival game where people would shoot like balloons
With
or something?
like BB guns.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Would it be a tragic accident?
okay.
The professor got
Around the like 3 o'clock, Yogt actually leaves the house together with 5 of these blonde people,
Oh,
Does he have the box in his hand?
and he's carrying the case in his hand.
They're watching him. They're guarding him. So I can't attack. Hopefully somebody else down the road will see this and see if they get. I'm going to follow along, but I'm looking for an opportunity.
yeah.
Well, they're not really surrounding him. They're just like following him.
Okay. Is he? How is he? Is he?
She seems very confident. He's basically strutting.
Are there a lot of other people around?
Yeah, quite some.
Yeah.
So this is behind the festival ground, so it's not filled up with people, but there are some people. So if one would bolt, one could use them to as obstacles.
Is he like in? Are they all like falling behind him?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're walking behind him.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can get ahead and then
If I'm going to look for an opportunity where
just
I could.
tackle him. And
How
grab him.
how is he holding the box?
Like this. She's in front of him, just like
Like
a
a jewelry
jewelry
case?
case.
Yeah. Okay.
You need to- Like a hip high.
If
Anyways,
I
You
run
side
up,
tackle him, I'll grab it.
yeah, if I do that though, and we fumble, then hopefully everybody else is at least somewhere nearby.
Well,
Yeah, when I
aside,
see,
aside from Joseph, who's checking on the professor, everybody said he's close.
yeah,
I
I'm
am-
getting out of the car.
I am going to run towards him as long as he's slightly facing away from me, so he doesn't
Okay.
see me coming.
Just gonna
And
barrel
I'm
into him.
looking over at Daniel, and maybe we have hand signals. I'm going to tackle, and you grab the box.
Okay, so Daniel do a dexterity and Carl do a fighting brawl.
Got 55.
Normal success. I rolled so horrible. Oh, shit.
My fighting brawl is 65, so got it by 5 points.
Okay,
Boom.
and Daniel?
Normal success.
Normal success. So what happens is basically Carl slams into, pushes between 2 of those blonde guys and slams into the back of Jörg, who stumbles, and the box falls from his hand, where Daniel snatches it up.
Starts running.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh,
Over the car.
sorry. I try to get them
Jörg-
distracted so that they're not
Jörg
looking at
looks at you, and you give me a power roll.
48 is barely a pass.
Barely a pass.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to run into you.
He looks at you. You. You feel something grabbing you from inside, and you feel as your arm, the skin on your arm starts to wither. Do a sanity check.
One is a pass. My arm.
Okay. Oh, it's not even a check. Sorry. You lose. That is 4 sanity and 8 hit points as your arms and your whole shoulder starts to wither.
8 hit points. Okay.
Get him! And the blonde guys start running after Daniel.
I'm going to pull out my gun though and point it at Yoke. Unfortunately,
you pass your stability. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm fine.
Just fucking hurts.
Is Daniel running towards the car or is he running towards the pond?
Was the car ahead of us? If the car was ahead of us, I would run to the car, but I'm running basically
I guess you would.
By the point we arranged the assault, I
Yeah.
think that the car would be on the way to the pond.
Yeah, I'd be on the way to the pond. So
There were many arguments, but we had finally resolved that.
yes, we're running now.
So you do another dex check. Let's see if one of them gets to you.
That's a really good one. That's a 24. That is a hard.
A hard.
I could burn 7 to make it extreme, but I don't know if that's needed right now. So
I got one who has a hard success. He would reach you.
I'll burn 7 to make it extreme then.
Okay. So just as you reach the car, the last one jumps at you, but just catches your coat, and you slip out of it and jump into the back of the car.
Walter, just move,
Vroom.
just drive straight. I don't care.
Yeah.
Vroom, vroom.
You hear screaming from behind. Get him!
I
And you
hope
hear
Carl's okay.
You hear gunshots. York is standing over you. Where are they bringing the necklace? Tell me, or you will die.
Who's he saying this to me?
Yeah.
I'll shoot him in the face. He threw acid on me.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it feels like that. Yeah.
Okay, do a dex check.
Yeah,
See
92.
who
I
goes
shoot
first.
past him.
Huh?
Oh, a dex check, you said?
Yeah.
No, I don't pass my dex check.
Anybody else doing anything?
I'm driving.
You're driving. Daniel's in the car. Hans?
Yeah, I'm. If Carl's in danger, I can try to intervene. Give a little yacht
Yeah,
check to
do,
run up and push him.
Then do an dex check as well.
33 is actually hard for my dex. I'm dexterous.
Okay, York is starting to mumble something as you lunge at him.
Oh, good thing I interrupted.
So do a fighting brawl if you connect.
Yeah. Now that's a terrible roll, but I did really check in with my dex. So I failed my brawl, but I hit him with my, I don't know how that works for you.
The fighting brawl is
The fighting roll's a fail. 7
Okay.
to 9. It's terrible.
So he's trying the same thing again. Do a power roll, Carl.
Amazing, like when you succeed, it's still like that's full damage, man.
Oh, for Carl, not for me.
Oh, he could.
Do you mean pow for me?
No, for Carl.
Oh, hello.
Carl? Was you,
Oh, I'm sorry. You were talking to me. I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
do a power
what-
roll.
Okay. 45 is. This is still a pass. Barely.
Let's see. Yeah. Now he has to win. You feel the same thing as before, but somehow it doesn't work. You feel
Okay.
as something keeps hold of you, but it does not work. The others, you reach the reticle. You're driving towards the wooden fence.
When they're driving,
You
I'm
see
taking the thing
that
out of the I'm
A
taking the
whole
thing out of the
bunch,
box.
at least 20 of these blonde guys are coming from all directions and running towards you. A couple of them are standing in front of the fence. One of them is like crouching, like he's waiting to pounce at you. And you're driving basically, there's a T intersection, you're driving directly in towards the fence.
Yeah, crashed through the fence. We're going right to the pond.
All right, cool. I'm gonna take the thing out of the box and duck inside the car.
Okay, do a drive check.
Oh, right. Base drive. Here we go. 59. No, I failed. Do I have enough luck? Yes, I have just enough luck. I will have 1 luck point left.
Okay, so you keep the car straight as it crashes through the fence
Uh,
Wow.
straight towards the pond.
I have the thing out of the box. I'm just gonna throw it into I'm just gonna like get out of the car and drop it, like tuck it into the pond.
Basically, if you want to brake, you need another drive test.
Just jump out of the car.
All the two of you could just jump out of the car.
I think we can jump out of the
We could just drive the car in the pond.
I guess we'll swim out. Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch over here.
So you jump out?
Yeah.
No. Come on, we could stop the car.
Okay. You wanted to be
Right?
sure?
Yeah, do a drive.
I might
20.
jump out of the car. Made it.
20?
Made it? Yeah.
20?
The tires scream and you stop the car and a whole bunch of these blonde guys are streaming in behind you towards the lake. So what do you do?
I would take the chain out of the box, huck it into the lake and probably draw my gun.
Okay.
I step out of the car and light my pipe.
You're gonna say the thing. You're gonna say right because I don't remember it that clearly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. That's right. I step out of the car, run him with Daniel. So when he throws it in, I can say the
So
line.
you throw the necklace in?
Mm-hmm.
And I say, my tale is done. There runs a mouse. Whosoever catches it may make himself a big fur cap out of it.
And as you say those words, those blonde guys suddenly disappear, and instead of their faces melt away, and those amphibian things are standing in front of you. And basically, it doesn't matter where you are, there are all, everywhere those things. Do a sand check, everyone.
Am I saying this even at the fair? Or?
Yeah, at the fair, there are those guys as well.
That's a
Oh.
fail.
All
I
the Prince,
failed.
all the Princess Charming have gone wrong.
Fail.
Yeah, I failed too.
Did anybody
fail is-
succeed?
Fail is 1d6.
How that?
3.
4. Ugh.
1.
Anyone with more than
Yeah.
5?
2.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what happened that we were rolling?
All the Prince
the-
Charmings turned into slimy creatures.
Into Ibians.
The illusions failed. The illusion shattered.
You have to do a sand check.
17. I did okay.
Okay. And
Damn
those
it.
things look around, and and suddenly you hear a light chiming, like small bells. And at the Red Coke, there is a horse cart that draws that comes up the street, and a jester sits on the front of it, and he says, "And now you're coming with me." And those things that were ready to pounce at you seem to be entranced and start walking behind the Sandman's cart. And he draws through one street after another, and he collects all of those things. And then he leaves.
What's the wizard doing to me?
Yokt is when he comes to you, Yokt is standing above you. You can act.
Yeah, go to hell, I say, and I pull the trigger.
You
If
don't
he's
need
that
to roll.
close to me,
You don't need to roll for that, and his head explodes.
Well, at
Go,
least
Carl!
hopefully the village saw like the mass transformation and them all leaving, so at least we have something. Maybe people believe us. It's like something was happening.
Okay.
I'm damn near crippled by what he did to me. So
Yeah.
That's usually how a fairy tale ends.
Okay.
I evidently I know how to do veterinary science, so I'll help you, Carl.
There you go.
it's
The next
melted down
hours
to the
are
bone.
basically absolute chaos. The police don't know how to take care of everything. The mayor consults you, who have been seen to assault and kill
Well, he can see
a
what he did
prominent
to me.
member of the
like
of the community.
Did anyone else see all of the fishmen?
How's the mayor's son going to do?
Okay, I think we're gonna wrap the whole thing up because of time. Yes, the mayor and the police managed to hush the whole thing up. There are articles about the gruesome tragedies that happened at the Seehusen Rifle Festival this year. You leave town pretty quick. And you swear yourself you don't want to visit the Harz Mountains ever again.
No.
Never.
We take the professor back to his wife.
Does the professor come with us? Without
The professor comes with you without his paper flowers.
I don't know. We take a few of those for souvenirs.
We can do that. And that wraps up the Frog King Fragments.
Was there anything that we missed that you
Yeah, I was
can
curious.
tell us about? How did this all start?
Okay, the thing behind the whole story is as follows. Sometime in the 13th century, a dark magician named Yok found a way to cross over to the Dreamlands, and he found himself the way to Ilmarnik, and convinced the people there to get the idol of Bokrug from Sarnath. With the might that he got through this idol, he was able to rule, to change the ruling council in Ilmarnik and implement himself as the ruler. And at some point, he gave the secret to his children, and from then on, he left Ilmarnik at some point. But all of his descendants were always the ones who kept the secret, who brought the Abians over to the real world, and then have them mate with human women. And in exchange, they gained might in the dream world, and they basically preyed on everyone who was weak and insecure in the real world, and gave him the power to be as mighty or as beautiful as they wanted in the dreaming world. And so this 58-year cycle started. What brought you in was that Professor Erling got on the trail of the whole thing via those letters by the Grimms and the text he found in the Prussian state archives in the von unaussprechlichen Kulten. And he had his lecture in Göttingen. He had there was this upheaval. Everybody was shocked by what he was saying. Everyone but this one student, Anna Rosa Berendt. And with her together, he discussed his theories, and then in the night, he suddenly remembered that there was this connection to Seehusen and the name Jocht that he has read before. So he went with her the next morning to Seehusen, where they tried this experiment at the Redekook. They crossed over to the Dreamlands. The ritual had nothing to do with it at all. The time was just close to the time when the worlds were near each other, and they drank enough laudanum to fall asleep. There they were attacked by Ibians. He was killed, but they took her as a prisoner to Ilmarnik and gave her to the Kalbfleisch sister. And the professor, when he woke from his death in the Dreamlands, he had a bout of madness. He just ran away, and he got this strange idea to come back to try to get his to help this girl. He had no clue what to do. He just wanted to sneak into town and try to help her. And that is basically where you came in. And as the worlds came closer, the border between reality and Dreamlands wore ever thinner, and that's why all those things that are rooted in the local minds kept happening in the real world.
Well, so we kind of figured that out. Yeah.
We kind of figured it out, but it's like it was
basically figured the whole story out.
So I guess in retrospect, how do you feel about how you ran this? Like, I don't know.
No, we can talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, that's probably afterwards. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I guess the thing that the mystery that I didn't understand, but makes sense in retrospect, in a sense, is that the reason that grim tale things were happening on Earth was because the mystical realm was drawing on the imaginations of
Yes,
people in
exactly.
the region.
It's like a cycle. Yeah.
So it's if you would think that witches will kill children,
Everybody
you
knows
live in
those
it.
stories, and that's why they manifested.
that was a mystery that I did not understand till the end.
Okay.
And
I
now
had fun
do.
either. I feel like I made it a bit messy at the end.
And we didn't all die, and we even brought Sleeping Beauty back. We even got the professor back, which means Joseph Prince does not get to marry the widow.
Yeah.
Well,
Or Carl, though.
I was
Carl
scheming
is
at the
going to
end.
like a yeah.
I was
I
scheming at the
remember-
end in hopes of the professor dying. That was why I volunteered to
You get to smother him in his sleep.
let him die, and then I would comfort the widow.
I gave you an eye about that.
Yeah.
But of course, I don't want to get too much trouble with you because
Your chances are fine though.
Okay.
Well, like Pascal's like, "Are you gonna kill him?" I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna do
You told me
that."
All right, we should cut it here and like
I'll
a little
just
later.
passively stand aside while someone else does it.
Okay, good.
Our players included Brian Ridge, David Gasway, Max Stoll, Steve Anderson, and myself, with Pascal Breitenfeld as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.